So, here we go.
It was filled with childish frustrations and complexes which the police were searching for James Thomas, believed to
Hello. You're listening to the Midnight Movie Gang. It's currently 8:09 p.m. Night Movie Gang. My name is LC, and I'm here with Joseph. Say hi, Joseph.
Hi.
Rock. Hello. And for those of you just tuning in, if this is your first episode, this is a show where we talk about horror films, sci-fi films, cult classics, just weird shit. I like having conversations about weird shit, and I like the kind of movies where it's like Blade Runner wouldn't be necessarily the kind of movie that, like, how do I put it? The vibe of this episode is like you're in like a film studies class at like a liberal arts college, and like Blade Runner is like the third movie on like the assignment sheet, and like you and your other film nerds in your film class are getting together in one of y'all's dorms.
Yep.
You know, snuck a couple beers past the RA. You know, maybe took a few edibles.
Yep.
And like you and your college film bro homies are hanging out and watching Blade Runner, and
then you were like, well, you know, it's technically a sequel to Blade Runner.
and then after you finish Blade Runner, everyone's still hyped. And it's like, you know, Blade Runner 2049 hasn't come out yet.
Let's check. Yeah, let's watch Soldier. I heard that's technically a sequel, and then you're like, what the fuck?
And then you watch Soldier. And which, speaking of which, so we're talking about Blade Runner, and we're talking about Soldier. So we're talking about Blade Runner 2049, and then how I would like to start. I don't have a whole lot to say about Soldier. I have some things I want to say about Soldier.
No, yeah, I mean, like, I've got a couple things, but like not nearly as much as especially
like,
Blade Runner 1. I think that's gonna take the majority. I think I'm gonna ramble the most when it comes to Blade Runner 1.
Yeah, same. I feel like I've got the most in-depth thoughts, feelings, and that definitely. This viewing of it in particular, which we were talking a little bit before we started recording. So like this might be I think this is the fourth or fifth time I have watched the original Blade Runner through and through. And as far as like, I don't necessarily keep track of I do remember some distinct times with the versions. The first version I watched was the director's cut, and funnily enough, it was in a high school film class.
Yeah.
That was the first time I watched it. Yeah, a little bit in some parts. And you know what's funny is that like that was at a time where folks, I want to like let y'all know out there, I'm gonna admit to this. Like I used to lie. Okay, I used to lie about movies that I had seen. Like I'd always been the movie guy, but for a long time I had like
a lot of people do that.
A lot of people do that, it's true to say face, but now I'm at the point where it's like I don't give a fuck. So like I haven't seen The Exorcist yet. I watched The Exorcist for the first time a few weeks ago.
Oh really? What'd you think?
Yeah, for the first time, I liked it.
It's fucking sick, isn't it?
It is badass. It was really good.
It's honestly like I remember because I hadn't seen it until like a year ago. I know it's not what this episode's about, but that movie blew my fucking mind. I was like, that was way better than I thought it was gonna be.
It's really nice when you watch movies that have been like so overhyped.
And then you're like, oh, yeah, I get it.
Oh, it's actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly one of my favorite feelings. He was like, oh, damn, people weren't just like...
Yeah.
I also felt
there
that
are gold in them, there are hills.
Honestly, one of the biggest ones for me was like, I didn't see Titanic up until a year ago. And at a certain point, I was like, damn, I forgot the boat's gonna sink.
Yeah.
Like, I was getting so wrapped up in the characters and the story and the tensions, the class commentary.
Yep. A lot of the time, things are popular for a good reason.
Yeah, I also had no idea that Titanic had like a modern part, like with like Bill Paxton and all that. I had no idea. But anywho, speaking of James Cameron, should we do an Avatar Ice and Fish and Water episode?
If you want, man.
Fire and Ash.
I will watch it. I
don't know. We didn't do the show. We started the show after the last Avatar, right? I forget when I forget how long ago.
Actually, I have no idea.
Wait, when
I
did
I feel like Avatar 2 came out like, and then the new Avatar came out like a year later.
Yeah, exactly. No, the fact that like the gap between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 is so different is 2022. So before we started this.
I guess that's just what happens with movies you don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
I will watch them for the show though.
I don't really have a whole lot to say about Fire and Ash.
Did you see it?
Ash and Slash. It hasn't come out yet.
Oh. Well, shows my level of interest.
Well, it comes out next month. It's
okay.
like it's Christmas. He wants those Christmas dollars.
True.
is what he's.
James Cameron really likes to pay attention to the box office.
Yeah. He plans that he plays that shit like a fucking like at a casino. Anyway, Blade Runner.
Yeah, how do we get to? You talking James? You saw The Exorcist. This is one of the movies you lied about seeing. All right.
Yeah, Blade Runner. That was how we got on to this point. Yeah, first time director's cut saw in a film class. Then a while later, I watched the final cut. I got the Blu-ray of the final cut, and I wasn't a huge fan of it at that point. Like
Wow.
I think that time was like early college, and I just didn't have the. I did not have the emotional capacity. I did not have the understand. I did not have the philosophical. I hadn't watched the episode.
It is a hard sci-fi.
It is. This is a difficult level movie, I think, and that's me. Call me pretentious or whatever. I think this is a movie that, if not multiple viewings, like really you need to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because
have you watched the theatrical cut recently?
Not recently, but the theatrical cut was the version I watched before.
Fucking sucks.
It does suck. But I will say with the theatrical cut, after I saw the theatrical cut, I had a better understanding of the story that was being told, in the sense that there were just a lot of things that I couldn't pick up on and couldn't understand.
Yeah.
With the earlier, as my first.
Yeah. It is a movie that demands your full attention.
Yeah.
Especially the good cuts, like the final cut. It wants you to empathize with the characters and kind of try to And then, dude, full disclosure. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Full disclosure, I watched I think 4 versions. I don't think I watched all of them. I got the 5-disc Blu-ray. Yeah. This is the most prep I've ever done for an episode. You don't even know.
Really bringing it in.
Yeah,
did all the homework.
I got the 5-disc Blu-ray. I watched a little bit of the making of documentary that came with it. I watched the work print, the theatrical cut.
Planet of the Apes version.
Yeah, and I watched the final cut, and I just got done with the director's cut. From the 90s.
The one you didn't mention was the international cut. I think is the one
that I think that's the one I watched, the international, because I read that's the same as the American theatrical cut. It just has a couple more scenes.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It's the worst version. The voiceover cuts in at the worst times. It has no faith in the audience to actually, because
Harrison Ford is not giving any kind of anything.
Harrison Ford didn't want to do the voiceover.
He purposefully recorded it bad.
Yeah. He's on record saying he didn't, but he totally did, because he didn't, from the very inception of this movie, from when he first got the script, one of the things he objected to and wanted changed was he wanted the voiceover taken out. And then the studio comes in after the fact and says, no, add a voiceover in. And it ruins it.
People are confused.
There's a scene later in the movie. Can we disregard spoilers from here on?
Sure. Yeah. Watch.
It's a masterpiece. It's one of the best movies ever made. Watch the final cut.
Spoilers for everything except for Soldier.
Yeah.
At the moment. Hang on for Soldier.
Yeah, we'll get to Soldier.
Both Blade Runners out and about.
There's so the Tears in the Rain scene, my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah,
Rutger Hauer
incredible
gives
scene.
He wrote that fucking speech. That wasn't even in the script.
No. Yeah.
One of the best speeches in movie history. Rutger Hauer gives that speech and then dies, and then in the theatrical cut, 2 seconds after Rutger Hauer dies, Harrison Ford's voice comes in. I don't know why he saved my life. I think toward the end he just loved life. Anybody's life, even my life. It's dude, shut up. I'm trying to watch the movie. They're a
little more human than after all.
Exactly.
After all.
It has no faith in the audience whatsoever. It doesn't even give you time to think about what that could possibly mean. It just assumes you're too stupid to follow along. I don't know, man. It doesn't even let you interpret it. It doesn't mean something directly like that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent, but
no, it's all good. It's a great
theatrical cut. Fucking sucks. Is the summation of my point. Don't watch it unless you're morbidly curious.
No, the final cut and the director's cut are really it. The only how to put it this time around. Remember, so to comment on my opinion on the different cuts, as far as what the theatrical cut did with the narration was literally just clarify some scenes for me that I just didn't know what I was I didn't know what I was supposed to be focusing on, because the thing is, this movie throws a lot at you. Like there's
it's very easy to be distracted.
There's like a lot of details and things that are constantly called back to different kind of motifs that like I didn't even realize the whole thing just like until this viewing, like with pictures, how like replicants like are really attached to like old timey pictures.
Yep.
And stuff, and like physical photos and like that. They're like tactile. They're like fucking Gen Alphas. Like they're craving. They
love their memories.
They're craving tactile, quote unquote, real things because they're questioning like their own reality. And it's like, oh man, so that as far as like, we're gonna talk about the whole Deckard is or is not real. I think Deckard's a replicant. The movie.
Yeah. The final cut makes it incredibly clear that he is. Yeah. I don't think it's ambiguous at all.
And like that's just one of those things where it's like on Deckard's fucking piano stand, he's got all these old photos of like random fucking old people and shit.
So last time we talked, you brought up the Deckard replicant thing. I was like, I prefer him not being a replicant, and I don't like the how heavily it's pushed in later cuts. As of this like most recent viewing, I don't mind it. I think it works because I think Ridley Scott. I genuinely do think that was his original vision. I don't like the unicorn thing. I don't like.
What don't you like about the unicorn thing? Just out of curiosity.
I don't like Gaff knowing that he's a replicant. I don't think it adds anything.
I read a fan theory that I don't necessarily know if I subscribe to, but there's a fan theory about that in particular. That, how do I put it? It is not only insinuating that Gaff knows that Deckard is a replicant, but it's insinuating that they talk about like we need the old Blade Runner, like why don't you get Gaff to do it, like, you know, he's whatever, why Gaff is always around. The idea is that Deckard's memories are Gaff's memories. Is the whole thing, because like in the sense that like Deckard is essentially, you could call him Gaff's replacement, or like Gaff was a Blade Runner for a very long time. Maybe he got injured, he got hurt or whatever. And now
Gaff's like his handler or something.
Yeah, he's like his handler. Or alternatively, which this is my theory that I even spawned off, was that what if like all Blade Runners in this world, or like the relationship is they have a human handler who their memories are based on, and they have like them, the Blade Runner, who's like they're like running like with their which the idea is like they know because like, okay, I know that I can trust this replicant to do the job because I know that I can do
that he's
this
me.
job.
Yeah. I don't know.
Deal.
I think from like a story perspective, I think it's kind of just neutral. I think him being a replicant doesn't really add anything. I think it's actually, personally, I think it would be more interesting if he's just a person who
is questioning,
is
his
able
reality.
to like use his human empathy to end up like relating to these replicants who are different from him. I think that's more interesting than like because at the end of the day, what does it really add that he's just one of them, you know?
How do I put it? I mean, to me, what it adds is it just goes to show more how looked down upon replicants are in society. Like, it's a thing where it's like, as far as like it increases the level of like, because the whole message of it really is like, you know, how do I put it? Because replicants are so obviously quantifiably life. Sorry, this may be something weird. Because replicants, in like, you look at it objectively, like as far as like any rational person who is like shown kind of this world, watching these replicant characters are like, yeah, these things are alive, or at the very least deserve like a level of respect that we're not giving them. And the systems and the powers that be are reinforcing the idea that like, no, these things are just robots. They're skin jobs. They're like these, you know, like they are like the shitty, like they're just tools. You know,
they're just objects.
And for me, Deckard being a replicant, and like the idea that like you know, the idea that, you know, humans being a Blade Runner is like a shitty job. It's something that like a human couldn't do, because I feel like a human being a Blade Runner would be like, well, what's it called? Would eventually come to the conclusion that Deckard comes to, in the sense that like, oh yeah, they're just people, like they're alive. you know,
It
and
has
like
too
that
much empathy. Wouldn't be able to shoot a woman running away in the back.
Yeah, quote unquote. And it's like there needs to be a program disconnect in order to be able to do that. And to me, that's what Deckard being replicant, just showing how shit and how down low the society has come to me.
No, that's fair.
And just the whole control of information aspect, even like the kind of sick way that the captain character was a lot more disgusting to me this time. Like he seemed like, in my head, it's like, oh, he's just like has his little robot that he's like commanding to do. And there's some other hints too with that. Like I think at one point,
cops, you little people.
If you're not cops, you little people. There's a line later that Gaff is like, you've done a man's job, which was like a very specific kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. It has. Here's the thing though, it still works if Deckard is human. Yeah. Because ultimately too, like the message is like, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like, we're all victims of this system.
Yeah, and Deckard is human in the theatrical cut.
Yeah,
and he's also
overtly. Yeah,
I'm gonna drop a bombshell real quick. Over the last couple days, I listened to the audiobook for "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" So now I'm well versed in the many differences.
You've gone into all the layers.
Yeah, I know. I see all the levels of the Matrix. Deckard is very clearly not a replicant in the book. But so fucking much. I can go on a whole tangent about how much is different from the book to the movie.
I've heard it's like quite different.
It is crazy different. Honestly, the whole and I was just watching that making of. The writer read the book and he was like, didn't really like it. But I could see a through line that could be a good movie, which is just
the Starship Troopers effect.
Yeah, it's because like the whole. Because they're not called Blade Runners, or they're not called replicants in the book. They're not. They're called bounty hunters and androids, and Andes for short. So they're called Andes throughout.
And aren't they also like actually mechanical in the book too?
No. They're pretty much biological the same way. They're indistinguishable. You have to do a personality test, but you can, if you kill one, you can like test their bone marrow to see if they're. But there's also in the book, just to go off on a little tangent about the book, because this book is insane and I have to like share some of these crazy details.
I got a book I want to talk about too after.
Hell yeah.
That is just this whole conversation. I want to talk about one of the. This is just if you're here, folks, and just want to hear us talk about nerd shit. This is what we do. We go on tangents. I want to talk about. I'm gonna briefly interrupt you for a second, Joseph.
Yeah.
I recently, totally legally, downloaded a big digital collection of every Alien and Predator comic, including like every crossover, like Superman versus Predator and shit is in there. But specifically, I've been wanting to read more Aliens comics in particular, and I've read 2 Aliens comics in there: Aliens Labyrinth and Alien Stronghold. And Stronghold I want to bring because Stronghold is a very AI focused story. And there's some cool ideas in there. Sorry, but please continue about.
That's cool.
Yeah, you're talking about the book.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, so in the book, the title is "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" Which sounds like a goofy joke, but electric sheep actually play a really big part in the story. So in the world of the book, it's so different, but the through lines are still there. Like, you can totally see, like, reading this book and thinking, and, like, coming to the conclusion of this story.
Yeah, and coming to the conclusion of, like, what if we do it like this?
Yeah, exactly. In the book, it's, like, post-apocalyptic, like, nuclear war. No one really even remembers who started it, but the world's covered in, like, this radioactive dust.
But we know we burned the sky. I rewatched Matrix recently.
Nice.
Also got me in there.
There's like a colonization effort on other planets, and that's what androids are for, is to like help colonize other planets. So like there's this big push to get people to emigrate off of Earth and go to Mars. And the people, there's very few people left behind on Earth. Like
the poorest of the poor.
Yeah, or people who have like been like genetically modified by the radiation. So J.F. Sebastian in the movie is based on a character called J.R.
Tolkien.
Yeah, something like that. He's got Isildur. J.R. Isildur in the book.
Oh wow, that's a good fuck ass name.
Yeah.
That's like a Harry Potter ass.
Yeah. Well, he's so some of the specials. So there's there's normals who haven't been affected genetically yet, and then there's specials who have, and I think that's still kind of in the movie. And then there's some of the specials. This book was written in 1969. Disclaimer: some of these specials are who are like mentally affected by the radiation, like kind of like made lower intelligent, are called chicken heads.
Chicken head.
Yeah, which is a really interesting. It's like
Crazy.
yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff like that.
Well,
But
I think a lot of it has to do with like the age of this book. There's like a lot of like.
there's a
like,
lot
we're
of
not-
weird like stuff with women. You get Rachel's boobs are described a minimum of like 4 times.
Real. That's crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird like old timey, like the Blade Runner is kind of like 80s future. The book is like 60s future.
Yeah, it's like a 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
It's the Fantastic Four future.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'd recommend it. But
Jetson's ass.
yeah, so J.R. Isidore is a chicken head. He's not a genetic engineer like he is in the movie. He's just kind of a dumb guy who the androids, who are like a little more like sinister in the book, like they're not as like relatable or empathetic. They're kind of always manipulating people. They just kind of take advantage of him. But in the movie, JF lives in that whole apartment building by himself, and I always figured that didn't really
weird.
Yeah, it didn't really make
weird
sense
toys.
it didn't really make sense in the movie because there's so many people. It's just like a crowded city.
Well,
like he lives in overpopulated Los Angeles.
Well, I mean, I feel like they kind of explain it in that like he owns the whole. I imagine with him, he's wealthy. He just can't leave Earth.
You
Like,
think he
there's a few-
owns the building?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, like he's like a genetic designer with like a direct line to Tyrell. I mean, it's the same thing. I think he owns the building and he just chooses to kind of live like that because like he's a weird freak, like little fucking
That's
toy
a
maker freak.
that's a fair
Because-
read. I always figured he was just squatting there.
I mean, it's the thing. What's we talking about? It's the same thing where it's like I mean, he has keys to the building. Like
Yeah,
he,
that's true.
But I've because it's the same kind of thing. It's what's it called? Skipping to 2049. I forget her fucking name. The daughter, the child, the replicant child.
Don't remember her name either.
Dream girl.
Yeah.
The fucking MacGuffin of the movie.
Yeah, the whole point.
Well, I need to
Replicant
know.
Jesus.
Okay, I don't think I can't not know. I can't not know the character's name. Thankfully, I got the.
I'm really bad with names, especially character names.
This is a pretty. Usually, I'm bad with it too, but this is an important character.
Yeah,
In the movie.
I mean, she's only in it for 2 scenes.
Yeah, but she's like the thing. Anna Stelline, Dr. Stelline.
Okay.
But what's it called? I mean, she's kind of that representation in 24/9. I thought, where as far as like, you know, she was a like, or I think they instigated like they put her in. She was at an orphanage. She got adopted by like a wealthy family or whatever. But yeah, she should be off Earth, but she's sick.
Yeah.
That's why. Same thing with J.F. Sebastian.
Yep. And that's why in the book he's trapped on world is because he's mentally deficient. But the in the book Deckard also lives in a whole apartment building by himself, and it's just because with him and his wife. He's married in the book, and he cheats on her with Rachel. But anyway, it's
Very
just,
human.
yeah. It's very desolate in the book. Like there's a lot of empty space that's just unoccupied, and there's a lot of people just living by themselves. So I think that's just something that carried over. I think he just I don't know, because he says I think when Pris asks JF like, do you live here alone? And he's like, right now I do. Like I think people come and go out of that building. It's just super. I don't know. It does make sense that he owns it too, though. That's a fair read.
That's how I've always read. I mean, as far as like why aren't there any like people running around?
Yeah.
You know, because maybe JF will make them into his weird little toys.
Yeah.
His little
He'll
mutant,
steal my eyes.
His little mutant. Yeah, exactly. Give it to him like fucking like Brendan Fraser the Mummy Imhotep coming for your organs. Yeah, JF is like, it didn't register to me how much of a little creep he was until this viewing.
He's
as
not
well.
like sinister. He's just kind of, he's kind of an innocent in a way. He's easily manipulated by the replicants.
I think I read him as more of a sick fucker because well, one, like I think it's his little mutant guys are in pain.
You think so?
I think they are like the scene where like I think JF's asleep and like Pris is like kind of looking around the place, like they look like they're fucking terrified. Like we get a close up of one of their eyes.
Big nosed guy, yeah.
Yeah, the big nose guy, and like in my head, I'm like, oh, he just made these like genetic abominations.
Well,
to be his, and like I think
you don't think that they're just robots, like grown naturally like replicants?
Yeah, no, they're totally organic because he's a genetic designer. That's another thing too, is that like.
Oh, you think that they're like little guys that he like?
They are little guys.
Like no, but you think that they're like people that he like genetically modified?
They're little mutant. No, not people that he like stole. He did grow them. He grew.
I'm gonna push back on this. When the two little tin men come to greet him at the door, you kind of hear like a little like clockwork noise as they like walk away. I think they're all robots. Like in from the range of like cuckoo clock to replicant being like almost identical to human, I think they're all synthetic. And in this world, being synthetic makes you absolutely worthless and like not like and when he meets the replicants, he does have like empathy for them, and he does like have like respect for them.
I mean, I disagree on that point because when he first meets replicants, like once he realizes the replicants, when Roy Batty shows up, he's like, "Show me something, do something," you know?
Yeah, I guess.
And Roy gets a little offended, like, "We're not fucking toys." Also, that's why I think that Roy is so freaked out when he gets to the place. He's like freaked out and sweating. He's like, "You got some nice toys here." I read that as like Roy is like horrified by these genetic monstrosities that JF has like created.
Yeah, I have a completely different read of that scene. Yeah. That's interesting.
No. I've always read them as like weird, especially because we get a close up of one of their faces. And
that looks kind of scared.
And he's just like a dude, and it's also just like a dude's face.
Yeah.
Like I hear the thing is like with the all of the replicants in general, it's like it's a distinct, to me. It's like their design. It's different than like the alien androids. The Weyland-Yutani androids are like mechanical, artificial, like there are no organic parts with those guys. The replicants are from the ground up genetically, like because that's the whole thing. Like JF Sebastian just talks about, he's a genetic designer. He's like, I do genetic design for Tyrell. You know, like he's not a mechanical guy. He's like genetic. The same thing with Chew, like earlier, like, you know. And then when they go to the snake guy. In Blade Runner 2, he's like, I'm a genetic designer. It's like all of these like artificial, to me, translates in this universe to manufactured. Yeah, is the thing. And just like you can manufacture something organic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how I like read it. I
think I see it as they're entirely synthetic, but they're kind of they like, I think they come off as organic. I think they're as close to organic as humans can like synthesize. Is my takeaway. It's pretty vague and open to interpretation. They don't really go into the science of it in the movies.
Well, I mean, I feel like they do. They have DNA. Like literally, Kay's looking through the DNA of like replicants and like what it, like as far as like
the thing they're like. But I think the thing that separates them, they're not like embryos grown in a lab. I think they're all, through whatever process, they're manufactured to be virtually indistinguishable from people, but they are still synthetic is the difference.
I mean, how do I put it? It's like, I don't know.
I think that they're made, not grown. Like they don't grow up. They're made as adults.
Yeah, they're made as adults. A la, what's it called? The awful movie we watched, The Island.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, literally the same thing. Where it's like, yeah, no, they are like grown as adults. Like from like they're like 3D. They're like 3D printed. I'm thinking it's like 3D printed food.
Yeah.
Versus like, you know, like food that you like make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And in the sense that, like, you know, or the difference between soy and meat. You know, like they are both still protein.
I think it's a difference between like plastic and meat. Like plastic that's so advanced to mimic the like molecular structures of meat.
I don't think I could ever buy that plastic could give birth. I think that
it's the hardest pill to swallow about the sequel for me, anyway.
what that's the thing that's the most hard evidence to me as far as replicants are organic beings.
Yeah.
Because like pregnant is a wholly organic thing.
It's
in my
true.
head.
I think for me, it's the fact that you can zoom into their bones and see the serial numbers printed on all their pieces and parts if you zoom in close enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think to me, it's like they are put together like cars in a factory, essentially.
Give them all a little stamp.
Yeah. Like we as humans have reached the point where we can replicate to a T like what an actual living being is like, but it's still not, there's still a line of separation there, and that's what the whole premise is. That's my interpretation.
Yeah, that is the whole premise. As far as like, you know, to me, it is like they're a different speed. Like the difference between, and I think this is this kind of calls back to the whole conversation. One second, my lo-fi music stopped.
No.
What's going on? I put on cyberpunk lo-fi. I can't hear it. Why can't I hear it? Oh, there it is. What was I gonna say? Replicants, long story. But like, you know, or as far as like, there's this uncanniness with, they talk about the replicants in 2049 and the what's it called? 2049 and the original, where they talk about like, oh, you're so perfect.
Yeah.
Like there's an uncanniness to like how perfect and like, you know, designed you are, quote unquote, which like that's the element of them that makes them feel, makes them artificial. But I was gonna say, what's it called? Like the reason why, I think that the language that they use around the replicants, like model number, like your unit, you know, talking about them as if they're tools, is not the reason that they use this language in the movies. In my head, in the story, is because society needs people to view replicants as such.
Yeah.
You know, even though it doesn't make any sense.
Because they're a slave labor force.
They are a slave labor force, and like all of the, whether it's the Tyrell corporations, all the corporations that make replicants or whatever, like culturally they have infused this language about like, you know, replicants literally not being human, literally being tools. Like, I mean, it's the same kind of rhetoric you look back, you know, in any kind of like slave labor force, like as far as like, you know, American slave trade, you know, like people being viewed as like inhuman, you know,
right?
Which I think, in that, when you look at like in real life examples of, we think of like subhuman as, think of more like animals, like it's like a horse or like an ox on a farm or whatever. Versus like now, because we have technology and we have like literal robots and the kind of things, like, oh, now we can take it in that direction as well, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, this is my TED Talk. We haven't talked a lot about the... This has been a lot of philosophical debate.
Well, it is Blade Runner.
It is Blade Runner. But I wanted to talk about some of the technical aspects too, especially as far as like, let's talk a little bit about kind of trying to stay in the realm of the first one right now. Or at least like we've kind of literally like went overall everywhere except for Soldier. But what's it called? But trying to go back to the first Blade Runner. So yeah, Ridley Scott. This came out after Alien, right?
Yeah. So fun fact, Ridley Scott. Yeah, this is in the span of 3 years, Ridley Scott made two of the most like genre-defining and imitated sci-fi movies ever made. Like, he was fucking cooking, dude.
Yeah.
But you know, fun fact, when he was approached to make this, he was actually signed on to make Dune. Like Ridley Scott's Dune, and then he had a death in the family, so he couldn't finish it. And then after so that it went to Lynch, and Ridley Scott, like he grabbed this project after it had been rewritten and signed on with it. Yeah, Ridley Scott's Dune would be fucking... And what's interesting is the sequel is made by the guy who made Dune.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of a similar thing as like far as like you look at like it'd be very Alien-esque in that, because Alien, a lot of like what Alien was the leftovers from Jodorowsky's Dune, which recommend to you. Jodorowsky's Dune, the documentary, check it out. It's fucking it's fucking incredible. It's one of the best movies about making movies like ever. Just the whole like just background drama of the story of like that movie not getting made is insane. I want to check out Death of Superman Lives. I've heard that's another really good one. It's about I think it was Tim Burton or the Nick Cage Superman movie that almost got made.
And it just didn't.
And then it just didn't. I need to check out that one. But sorry, so back to Blade Runner. Yeah, Ridley Scott's definitely one of my favorite directors, and something that like I was able to experience. I think this is also the first time I watched Blade Runner like on a proper big screen.
Yeah.
Like is another thing too.
Dude,
like
big difference.
I had my backlighting on, nighttime. Like I was like at the big TV, and just this whole world just feel like it's incredible. In 1982, they really
insane.
sold.
It's timeless too.
Yeah, the effects are
perfect for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. Every once in a while, you see like a model that looks strange, but I think about just the opening, seeing the pyramids, and I remember when I watched a video episode afterwards, it's like literally like these mega corporation buildings are pyramids above all the peons. I'm like, oh my god, it literally is like the pyramid.
All those shots of all those shots of the city is all practical models and like in camera. Honestly, the effects for this and 2049 are pretty much flawless. Like I have no complaints about either of them.
2049 in particular is kind of like
great effects.
Yeah, Blade Runner 2049 2000. We peaked with CG.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is before effects sucked. This looks so good.
2014 to 2017 was the era of perfect VFX. And then it also we peaked with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. and then it was all downhill.
And then the one after that was worse. It's crazy.
Kingdom.
Yeah.
Which I want to watch, but I still haven't seen.
I saw it in the theater, and I had a really bad theater going experience.
We need to do a Planet of the Apes episode.
Yep.
That'd be so fun.
Mark that shit down.
No, we do, and
there's so many to do. We can do a whole series. We can watch all the stupid ones no one remembers.
Holy shit, you're right. Yeah, I have you've seen it. I have the old Planet of the Apes box set of all the old Planet. I've seen all of them.
Wow.
I've watched all of them, and no, they range from the okay. Where a Planet of the Apes episode's coming soon. I think that would be a wonderful franchise to come. Yeah, the lore in Planet of the Apes the lore is insane too. You don't even know the lore. There's like so many different timelines.
Oh hell
and
yeah!
In the third planet, I'm just spoiling. In the third original Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, that's the third. No, Escape. Wait, it's
forgettable titles.
Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, Escape the Planet of the Apes, and Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
God damn, they made a lot of these.
That's the original 5, and then they did the Tim Burton movie, and then we get the new trilogy, and then Kingdom. So yeah, and I haven't seen Kingdom yet. Wow, yeah,
you're not missing much.
I think what we could start doing like an original Planet of the Apes versus the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes could be fun.
Okay,
but one of them they go back and the apes are in modern day New York. Like they go into a time machine, and the main apes are in like modern day New York. And there's like a mall like fucking like fashion sequence where like the lady ape is trying on all these different clothes.
Yeah.
Like in a mall, and it's literally like an 80s mall like trying on different clothes sequence in a Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, we do need to watch the stupid old ones. You're right.
Yeah. The stupid old ones are fun. Actually, we need to watch those ones. The stupider old ones are good. Point is, sorry, folks. Like I said, tangents going on. What got us to Planet of the Apes? We were talking CGI.
Oh yeah, the effects.
Effects, yeah, the effects in both these movies.
Flawless.
Flawless. Denis Villeneuve in particular is like it made me want to go back and rewatch his Dunes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it.
Honestly, like I said, like we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but the Blade Runner 2049 tonally is so similar to the new Dune movies. Mm-hmm. If he had made it after he made the Dune movies, everyone would have been like, he just fucking made a Dune movie again, but Blade Runner. They probably would have been pretty upset.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to enjoy the new movies more removed from the hype.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the hype...
Yeah, I honestly, as someone who didn't give a shit about Dune before seeing those movies, I really enjoyed them.
Well, here's the thing, is that I know... Consciously, I can't say that I enjoyed them just because the hype and like how people were just saying, "Oh, it's the next Lord of the Rings, it's the next whatever."
Yeah.
I'm like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, not really.
But I do think about those movies a lot.
Yeah,
and we did some long podcast episodes about.
They got the vibes I like. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, like, you can't deny that like they're technically perfect.
We talked about obviously the effects in Blade Runner are perfect. Like they're beautiful. They're beautiful, amazing for the time. Sometimes you see wires on cars, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But
CRT screens.
Yeah. I mean, like aside from the effects, just the way this movie is shot, I think is what keeps me, like, because I watched this movie 4 times, and honestly, this most recent time I enjoyed it just as much as the first time. I think that's all because of the way it's shot.
The first one in particular, I think, is a great vibe movie.
It's every single shot is beautiful. The way it's lit, the use of darkness. So this aesthetic, this movie pretty much invented, or at least popularized, the aesthetic of cyberpunk, of this kind of like old new, but I don't think anything's ever like truly captured it the same way. Because I think this movie has like a certain mysticism to it. Like I think it's a soundtrack mixed with kind of the way everything's presented. It's kind of got this like magical look to it.
Dreamlike.
Yes.
Is the whole aesthetic. Also with the sound design in particular, like just reverb.
Yeah, exactly.
Like everything just kind of feels big.
It feels like a fantasy movie almost. I mean, Ridley Scott made Legend right after this, but it's got the. I think it's that. I think it's the music and like the use of like colored lighting, and I also think it's the use of darkness. There's so much black space on screen, like for the majority of this movie, and I think that's something that's not in the sequel. It's not really replicated in anything that tries to like capture this vibe. I think
Blade Runner might be, especially this for actually 2049 does it as well, just as far as like there's so many things about not just the production design, but about the story and the information that we're given, that this world is massive.
Yeah. Like,
this world has, like, for the fact of, like, we've colonized 9 other planets by the time of 2049, yet there is not a single, the closest thing we get to seeing another planet is, like, a little flashback thing in the anime. Like, we do not see off of Earth. None of our main characters necessarily are, like, the super rich people. Like, we are restricted in our perspectives.
Yeah, it's the coolest kind of fantasy or sci-fi world where it feels like you could point at the map and go somewhere else and see some cool other kind of story happening anywhere else in this world. Like, it feels big and varied.
Yeah. Well, and also Soldier, because I was about to say, wait, hold on, is another one?
Oh yeah, like, Soldier also happens in this universe, I guess, technically.
we see another planet in that one.
I guess.
Junk planet. But
we'll get to Soldier.
Yeah, but just as far as like the sound design and the way the music blends in, like the scene where the Voight-Kampff scene, like with Rachel, and they're in the Tyrell
golden light,
the golden light, and like the reverb on their voices is also just like echoing, mixing with the score. Like it's just
the way the quiet, the echo, the owl, dude, everything is perfect.
Yeah, you could honestly mute the dialogue in this movie, and it could still be like readable to some extent.
Just play Radiohead over top of it.
The owl. But anywho, I guess there isn't this. So as far as like, we're not gonna go through the story necessarily. Yeah. We're gonna kind of just broadly talk about
I don't
necessarily.
If people at home we'll talk about the vibes. The story is great. It's obviously like
it's a noir.
It's a noir. It's better than the book, but I would recommend the book just because it's kind of funny. Fun fact about the book. The kind of paper he gets, like the rundown. This is just a non sequitur. The rundown he gets on the replicants are called a poop sheet.
Poop sheet.
Yeah, and every time, and they reference it a lot. And I was listening to it at work, and I kept laughing every time that Deckard pulled out his poop sheet. It happens like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the book. I don't know. I'm a child because it made me laugh. But no, they zone in on the whole detective noir aspect of it, as they should. Make it set in L.A. in the distant future of 2020 or 2019, with this kind of it's kind of a similar anachronism as Alien, where you see all these CRT monitors. The tech in Blade Runner 1 is very screen based, and then 30 years later in 2049, it's
hologram based.
It's very hologram based, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is exactly the same as the Cyberpunk series, by the way.
Yeah.
As the presentation of as a tangent as Cyberpunk.
There's still a solid amount of like CRTs in 2049. Like,
yeah,
I like his little car phone when he calls Jenny from Robin Wright.
Yeah.
Who
God, I always forget that that's Robin Wright.
Yeah. As her racist cop boss wants to fuck him. Television series. Wait, what is this?
Yeah, there is a TV series I haven't seen.
Wait, no, it hasn't come out yet.
No, that explains why I haven't seen it.
And there was an animated series, animated miniseries, but they're making I'm looking on Wikipedia right now. Hold up, Joseph.
Oh,
they're making This just in. Blade Runner 2099.
Oh.
Is an upcoming American sci-fi miniseries created by Siska Louisa for Amazon Prime. Oh no. Michelle Yeoh is Olin, a replicant facing the end of her life. Interesting.
See, I'm getting Alien Earth vibes.
No. They're gonna ruin it again.
I'm always very wary. That's why, I knew that there was an animated show and I haven't seen it because I'm very wary about, things that I hold in such high regard as the original Blade Runner, kind of oversaturating it. I think that happened a little bit with Predator. I think that happened. Yeah. That happens a lot with. It happened with Terminator. Alien, obviously Blade Runner is a little different because it's a little more philosophical. But
it's a little more philosophical. It's also kind of more less. What's it called?
It's not as Hollywood. It's not as not as nerdy in kind of a pop culture kind of way.
It's not as pulpy.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like, ooh, he's got the gun, he's got the Deckard gun. That's a little bit of that in the second one. It's mostly true. About the themes and the questions. That's what I like about sci-fi.
The second one is definitely a little, or 2049 definitely. That is, rewatching this. Before this watch, I definitively preferred 2049 in overall because I feel like 2049 is a much more digestible movie.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. I think I used to feel that way.
Yeah, no, but after this rewatch of Blade Runner, it's like that.
It's a lot more straightforward of a movie.
Yeah, it's a very well done. 2049 is
it's a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's a great meal from a restaurant that it's a great meal from a restaurant that has really good reviews.
Yeah, no,
it's not too.
It's you would expect it to be good, and it's very good. It's one of my favorite sci-fi movies. But Blade Runner is just a fucking classic, man.
2049 is Ridley Scott invited you to his house. Yeah. For you're having a candlelight dinner on his porch, while he serves you food that his that his old Scottish mother recipe passed down for generations, and it's this deep, interesting cultural meal.
You sink your teeth into it.
That a really complex thing where it's maybe you didn't like it at first, or it was overwhelming at first, but then you think damn, I want to eat that again.
Yeah, Blade Runner it's just, I think the original is just such lightning in a bottle. There's just so much unique about it. There's so much that works and so little that doesn't. Honestly, even Rutger Hauer is my favorite actor in this movie. My favorite performance.
Yeah, Roy Batty is a great. I don't even want to call him a villain.
Yeah,
he's a great character. He's
so dumbed down in the book too. He's just kind of this kind of vaguely sinister replicant, and spoiler alert, at the end Deckard just kind of kills him, and nothing. It's kind of anticlimactic. He's kind of is a character that honestly could have been way less interesting if Rutger Hauer specifically wasn't cast in this role and brought to it as much as he did. He brings such a depth to it. He shows the whole range of human emotion. Even
in his quote unquote goofy moments at the end where he's running around shirtless and he's
I love that part. That's
Oh no, that part's great. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, even I think like there's a little moment where he's like acting like a wolf.
Yeah.
And he sticks his head out of the window, and but here's the thing. And he's like yelling at Deckard, but before he like hops back inside, you see him just like feel the rain for a moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cause
like it's like a quick little thing, like you see, and he's like really savoring it because like he's just things like he's a man who knows he's
a man at the end of his life,
you know,
and what he's gonna do is he's gonna pass on. He can't share his story. He can't. He knows that he's going to die, and there's no hope. So, my interpretation is this: this is his way of sharing his story with, like, he's going to make this man live in fear. He's gonna He's gonna make this man remember who he killed. By the way, it's funny. He breaks Deckard's fingers, and he's like, "This is for Pris. This is for the what's her name?
Zora.
This is for Zora." Does not break one for Leon. Did not give a fuck about Leon.
Fuck Leon. Leon's a big dumb idiot. What's a
Has
tortoise?
no respect for Leon.
Didn't give a shit about it.
He's like, I'm gonna make you remember the girls, but not Leon. Yeah, no. I think I don't think it's a snap decision that he saves Deckard. I think the whole plan is like, because the implication.
Yeah, I don't think he was like planning on killing.
Yeah,
him.
the implication for that whole scene is like he could kill him at any time. Like he literally has him dead to rights like 3-4 times and just lets him run, because he just wants him to live in fear for that this last moment of his life, and kind of share that bit of, like, he wants that to be his legacy. It's beautiful, honestly. That is the emotional core of the movie, is that final scene, specifically like his speech. But you know, he kills Tyrell and he comes back and he can feel himself dying, and he finds his the love of his life dead, and he's you know, he's coming to terms with his mortality at the same time. And it's also funny because Deckard, through this entire movie, is just a guy at work for the most part.
Yeah.
And when he realizes he's going up against this Nexus 6 who's like built for combat, who's going to absolutely destroy him, he doesn't talk to him. He just runs the entire time. He's just trying to get the fuck away from this guy. It's great. But maybe we should talk a little bit about Deckard, about Harrison Ford in this movie.
Yeah. I didn't think he had a performance until this last
oh my
viewing.
God.
And as far as, you know, and here's the thing though, is like, I view a lot of it purely as through the lens of like almost like an Iron Giant kind of thing of like a robot learning how to be human again.
Deckard?
Yeah, with Deckard is like how I kind of like view as far as like you know, I think it's a thing where it's like in the opening when Gaff shows up and is like, you're under arrest, like you wouldn't come in otherwise, and he's like, I'm retired. In my head, it's like, this is kind of how I imagine that this is how they start up all of the Blade Runner replicants, and that like, because they know that like they're not going to do multiple jobs.
Oh,
that's
interesting.
They keep getting this darn humanity. Like, so literally, I think of like the opening when he's getting noodles. I'm like, this is the Deckard replicants like start spot. You know what I mean? Like anytime that they need like a new case where like new replicants show up, like we start him up. He's programmed to go to this noodle shop. We pick him up, and then we start him on his quest.
I like that. I think a slight modification. I think they start him up like a month before, just because his apartment looks really lived in. That just makes it make more sense in my head. But yeah, no. Also, he says, "You're a Blade Runner. Tell him I'm eating." That's like a perfect like. Harrison Ford brings something to this movie. Same as Rutger Hauer. It would be so different if it was anybody else. I think they were looking at Dustin Hoffman before they got Harrison Ford, but he's got this like he's done this a million times. He's at work, like he's experienced. He knows what he's doing, and that's kind of the same character as he is in the book. Just kind of.
He's tired of this world.
Yeah, exactly. He's just, you know, he's seen it all before. He doesn't like killing replicants, but hey, you got it. In the book,
Need to get that E somehow.
Yeah, exactly. In the book, I don't know if did I tell you about the animal thing in the book? It's kind of a big deal.
I mean, is it similar to in the universe of Blade Runner, where it's just like owning a real animal is considered like, oh, you're rich?
Kind of. Owning a real animal. Oh, take care. There's like a whole religious thing in the book where it's like a moral imperative, like a social taboo to not be taking care of an animal, like not care for an animal.
What?
Yeah, dude. I recommend. It's a wild fucking audiobook, and it's like 10 hours. I recommend it.
Interesting.
So everyone's got to take care of. Like if you're not taking care of an animal, it's like a serious embarrassment. But Deckard and his wife own an electric sheep, which is like an artificial animal, and that's something that you don't share with people. It's like it'd be really embarrassing if people found out. So his motivation throughout the entire he gets paid $1,000 per replicant he kills. He's very explicitly not a replicant in the book.
Yeah.
He gets paid $1,000 per replicant that he kills. And that's he puts all that in a down payment to buy a goat at the end. Throughout the entire story, he's like looking at his poop sheet. He's looking
at his poop sheet, trying to buy a goat.
He's making he's having his secretary make video calls. He's calling up like the operators, and at the entire time he's like looking through a catalog and he's like, "Fuck, ostriches are so expensive. I need more money." It's great, dude.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I honestly like it's such a surreal story that I can't help but recommend it. But anyway, that's a tangent. Just because I needed to fit that in somewhere because it's.
I mean, I did always. It's not. This isn't a negative, but like I kind of was wondering like why such a big emphasis on real and artificial animals in these movies. Like, why is it such a huge market that people like? I always
just took it as like animals are like mostly dead. Like in the book they are too. Like they're so
they're a commodity. They're rare.
Yeah, exactly. So like if you have one, it's a big deal. That's another thing that's also in Cyberpunk. It's a big deal to have a real one because they're so rare, because they're mostly extinct, because the world is fucked. Anyway, just like real life.
Yeah, period. So like, maybe 2049 we'll be looking. But yeah, no. So we're talking. I'm trying to think anything. We kind of mostly been talking about Blade Runner 1. Is there any other major things like in Blade Runner 1? We like. One little thing I want to say.
Yeah.
So, of all the okay. Regardless if whatever Ridley Scott's like official word is on whether Deckard's replicant or not, we can say for sure that like his goal, he wanted people to question it. Like he wants like the filmmakers, the creative people behind this film want people to like not be 100% on what. So and because of that, that's why there's like a lot of shameless hints and stuff and like little weird things. And one of the most
final
famous,
cut, yeah. Anyway,
one of the most famous ones that like just notably you look online like hints at Deckard's replicant or whatever is like there's a scene where it looks like his eyes are kind of glowing.
Yeah.
Right. And here's the thing. And like I said, this is the first time I watched this movie on a big TV.
Yeah.
and beforehand, I couldn't tell. It was too
it's
too rough.
It's so clear though.
On my big TV,
yeah,
I was like,
seeing it on the big screen. It's like, no, come on. Well, you know what it is? Because I'm still convinced that it wasn't intended in the original cut. Because that's the only shot where they're doing that effect. They're doing the eye glow effect for Rachel, which is like they use like a kind of a semi-transparent glass. It's like a weird. I fully understand how it works, but that's the one shot where you see it.
Yeah, I don't know how they get the effect.
Yeah, that's the one shot where it's a two shot. So anyone who's in that frame who shows their eyes to the camera, their eyes are going to glow. I'm not 100% convinced that was intentional in the original cut. But it could be. I know Ridley Scott really likes the idea of Deckard being a replicant, and most of the real big hints that he is come from the director's cut and the final cut. But in the original cut, that's kind of the only hint, and like the ending of the original cut kind of negates it. Yeah, and also the ending of the original cut, they drive north, and it's like some big verdant wonderland of like Washington. It doesn't make any sense.
No, yeah, the theatrical and the international definitely.
Yeah, theatrical cut sucks.
Yeah. What is it? There was one more thing I wanted to say about
The sex scene is weird and awkward.
The sex scene is weird and awkward.
It always made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, the way that it's executed definitely does, and it's a thing where it's like out of context. There's no way for it to age well. I want to say one thing about it as far
I'm
as
less weirded out now as an adult. When I was a teenager, I was like, "Is this a rape scene?" As an adult, it's a little less of a rape scene.
I think a part of it too, looking at it through the Deckard is a robot lens and what that scene means, he's questioning his humanity. I think what like how I kind of think about that movie is that Rachel also wants to feel real. She's going through her own.
Oh my God! Can you imagine
realizing that she's a robot and like I never thought about like that before. And she's going through her whole thing like wondering like what is real, what isn't. And Deckard is trying to like they do have this connection, they do have this attraction, and I think that Deckard is like trying to make it so that like she can't deny like what she's feeling.
Say it out loud, but like without that context, it seems very weird, lack of consent-y.
Yeah, and I mean, to a certain extent, like, to a certain extent, it still is, just as far as, like,
through a modern lens, yeah.
And, but, yeah, it's a really kind of on-the-line thing that, like, how do I put it?
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's definitely a scene that,
it bothers me less now as an adult, now that now that I'm a little bit more media literate. Yeah. I can see the context. I can see why it goes down. I can see that she is attracted to him and she is consenting.
I can see how that scene would go through Ridley Scott's head and go, yes, or within my artistic context, be Ridley Scott, the director of Gladiator. Within my artistic context, this scene and the motivations with both these characters make sense and is consensual.
Yeah.
Like as far as like, but like it's just like it's hard to not interpret it that way.
Yeah.
Let's talk about any other scene.
I think in general their relationship. So this is a movie that benefits from repeat viewings, as I have discovered over the past week. I used to think that she was a super flat character who had really nothing to do, and their relationship was really rushed and didn't make any sense.
She's got a lot going on.
Watching it again, it's just the movie was too fucking subtle for me. Look at her, like you can see her face. She's discovering that she not only was built, not born, and all of her memories are false. She has like 2 years to live.
Yeah. She's freaking about that. She's like on the run.
Yeah.
She like on the run from the law.
And
like
she kills this guy for they bring it up in 2049, but she and Deckard just have this instant connection, and it's so subtle in that first scene, but they clearly are just so into each other from like second one. And like, they have a love that doesn't need to be like discussed very much. Like
skipping ahead a little to 2049. What's it? Wallace insinuates that Deckard and they were plans.
Yeah, don't you think you might have been designed to like go to that place at that time and meet her?
A Robo Adam and Eve.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking like she had the experimental. The replicate uterus, you got the replicant sperm.
Yeah,
so.
but then Deckard has my preferred take on Deckard being a replicant is the same as his take, which is I don't give a shit. It doesn't make a difference either way. Like I know what's real. That's like the whole point. Like when he says I know what's real, that like sums up Blade Runner for me anyway. Like it's like, and there's a line in the book where it's like everything everyone's ever thought is real. Like it's just. That's a big focus on the sequel. It's like reality is subjective. Your experiences.
That they got me.
Sorry,
go ahead.
No, your experiences have value. It's it's really dense shit.
Yeah, the uncanny valley-ness conversation when it comes to robots in artificial life in general, created life, whatever, in fiction is like, there's a certain point that always makes my brain hurt when it comes to like the just that whole line of like when is something something that can imitate something.
Yeah.
Where the line of like where the imitation becomes the reality thing, like there are certain examples in fiction that always make my fucking brain hurt. And now it's funny, in the era of AI, my opinions about examples of this in fiction change a lot. And Joy, I think, is one of those. Joy is kind of what I was going towards, as far as like, I think that Joy is a really interesting modern modern interpretation of like a lot of these themes that we didn't really have terms for.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I think it's what we were discussing earlier with because I think we're on the same page philosophically when it comes to like replicants as like like slave labor, like
as sentient beings.
Yeah. They are definitely in the text, but I feel like in reality I would have a hard time coming to terms with that, especially with something like Joy is a lot more like of a clear-cut example. For anyone's confused, Joy is like a hologram girlfriend.
Joy, played by Ana de Armas.
Yeah, she's like
four letters make up your existence, mine are two.
Yeah, exactly.
But more elegant, darling, more elegant. They have a really good chemistry for such a weird relationship. Yeah, but we'll get into it.
It's her. But
it's her part 2.
Yeah. It's so Joy, to jump ahead a little bit, is essentially an AI designed to be like the perfect girlfriend to appeal to you specifically. It's like she spends the entire movie telling Kay exactly what he wants to hear.
Yeah.
To him, it feels real because it's designed so well. It's to mimic the real perfect relationship. And for me, if this was real life, I would have a really hard time not seeing replicants as exactly that, as just mimicking a human mind. And at what point does mimicking become true sentience? And would we even be able to tell?
Well, part of it for me, in terms like, and I think this just has to do with like, it's one of those things that you wouldn't be able to tell right off the bat. But as far as like, I'm thinking about Data from Star Trek, for example, or whatever, like, or any kind of like, in fiction, this might just be like robots showing interest in like hobbies and like things that are beyond like things that make like logical sense or whatever. Robots trying to make art, you know, or like like I said, that kind of thing is the thing where is a big distinction for me, as far as like, okay, if you have interests, you have feelings about interests, then like you're alive. Man, to a certain extent.
Prometheus and Alien Covenant really made me try to think about this shit, but it just failed horribly.
Yeah, if I could just try.
The ups and downs of Ridley Scott, man.
And Ridley Scott made both of those. But what was I trying to get at in terms of with Joy here? Yeah, so like with Joy, her only interest is Ryan Gosling, and that's
her interest is being, exactly, as like a simulation.
Yeah, like her only, like, all of her character motivations in this movie is to be
a satisfactory product, essentially.
To be a satisfactory product. Even going as far as like, how do I put it? Like looking at the hologram threesome scene, which like one of the craziest. I was so stoned when I was looking at that part.
I hate that scene, to be honest.
You hate that scene?
Yeah.
I think it's visually just super.
I think that scene just goes. Yeah, it is. Effects wise, it's beautiful. It just makes me really uncomfortable.
The hands overlapping.
Yeah, the whole thing just makes me uncomfortable.
But even that, as far as like, you know, she's like, Kay's attracted to this woman, but I still want and I want to make him satisfied, so I'll fucking reach out to her and arrange this shit. And it's like that's still within what you can imagine the programming is going to be, you know. And I think as far as like when it comes to like we see replicants like I said with hobbies, like they collect like old photos and stuff, and you know,
what's interesting is like right after that scene, the replicant girl is going to leave, and she kind of like disses Joy a little bit, and it like clearly hurts her feelings, and that always kind of broke the movie for me a little bit. Of like, wait a minute, like
broke Joy's feelings.
Yeah, like her, like yeah, clearly, like because yeah, she's like, I've seen in the inside of you. There's nothing going on in there, essentially. And I was like, wait a minute, like Joy like has an actual like internal like monologue aside from just being the perfect. But then it cuts to Kay is just in the kitchen, clearly an earshot of that. So it's like, oh, okay, was that also just part of the simulation to seem like she?
I didn't read that as that. I read it more as just like Joy, like after the sex, Joy tells
yeah,
I forget that character's name, replicant prostitute woman.
Yeah.
Mindy from The Martian. Joy is like, okay, you're done, leave.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And like, to me, I'm reading this like, oh yeah, she's being an efficient machine.
Yeah.
Like, I no longer need you. You are no longer, your services are no longer required.
But that's how it starts. But then replicant lady gets offended and kind of, and she says,
yeah, she disses Joy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then Joy has like this like look of like hurt or like offense on her face. And I always found that strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I never read it as that. I just read that as her just like being kind of cold, as far as like just being like, I don't need to put on. I don't even necessarily want to call it facade. Like, my programming does not require me to like give you like an emotional response because you're not Ryan Gosling.
But I did perceive an emotional response, is I guess what I'm saying. Yeah. It's weird.
So would you fall for the test? Would you
roll that Joy footage? Anyway,
Jamie, bring it up. But yeah, no, she's like really interesting character, and then obviously like the biggest thing that like puts the nail in the coffin as far as like Joy not being a real person is and it is the moment that has been, I've seen so many memes of this moment of when he's at the end of the movie after he's got the shit beat out of him and he sees the big at the big ad of Joy, and she's like, you look like a good Joe.
Yeah.
And he realizes that his whole
oh shit, it was an algorithm the whole time.
Oh my god, it was a chat.
Boy, I really tricked myself into falling in love with a fucking AI chatbot.
Yep. Which yeah, like I said, it's a thing
Prescient.
where it's like very prescient. I mean, and it's interesting too. This story plus this and her would almost make a good double feature, in that like you know, the reality of people getting their emotional intimacy from these algorithms like that. Here's the thing, people like that is happening right now. There are people who are like in love with ChatGPT and like with these AI programs, because you know, and I think a lot of it has
you want.
They give you what you want.
Tell you what you want to hear. Yeah.
What you want to hear, and a lot of people just don't have
people don't want a real person. They just want that
capacity, maturity, you know. And as these technologies get more to the level of like Joy, which I don't know if we'll see something like that, maybe like on a screen, maybe not necessarily a hologram, but like we'll have things like Joy where you'll have your like especially in VR, VR, like we're gonna have Joy VR girlfriends in our lifetime. Yep. I meant like as a society, not us. Like we are happily married.
Yep.
But like as a society, I think like there will be that, like, and it's going to be like a real problem. And it's another thing too. It's actually speaking of the whole thing, like with this movie, something that's impressive. I love that we don't see anybody else's personal joys.
Nope, just him.
You know what I mean?
It's his own little world. There's
like a little part when he transfers her to the little to the little Benjamin stick, and walks her around. Like you see like her little menu. Yeah. And when I
paused it too.
Yeah. Because like
I was like, man, this guy really stuck with the default Joy face, huh?
But no, well, he couldn't afford the
upgrade.
The additional Joy. Maybe want to rewatch Companion because it's a whole similar thing. Same kind of deal, just like buying your robo girlfriends.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, other things about 2049. So yeah, Denis Villeneuve, we talked a little bit about.
Do we want to wrap up Blade Runner 1?
Okay, yeah. So so what? How do you want to wrap up Blade Runner? You go ahead with your wrap up.
I'm sure we'll have. Well, you know, it's obviously a classic. You should watch it. It's a great noir. There's a lot of shit that we didn't talk about. It's one of the best.
There's a lot of shit to talk about.
It's one of the best movies ever made. It's either in my top 10 or my top 5. I don't know. I'm not a nerd. I don't keep a list like that. But it's a beautiful movie. I like watching it. I watched it 5 times for this, and I didn't get bored of it. Not a single time. What's your prop?
My prop from, well, I don't get to say my thoughts, my final thoughts
give your
on
final,
Blade Runner 1 too. But yeah, no, yeah, Ridley Scott I think is Ridley Scott is for sure in like my top 3 or 4 favorite filmmakers of all time. When it comes to like Alien, as far as like I put that above everything else, but especially on this rewatch of Blade Runner, like there is so much mastery on display here, just in terms of like the technical side of the filmmaking. Like we were talking about the music and the visuals and the usage of color and just the usage of like everything. The performances I didn't appreciate till now. Like even though there's a lot of characters
subtle.
that on the surface may seem stiff or may seem strange, it's because like you said, there's like a lot of subtlety going on below the surface.
Every single character in this movie is amazing.
Yeah. And I think it's a thing where it's like if I doubt there are many people listening right now who have not seen Blade Runner and have stuck around to this point. But
if you haven't, see it.
If you somehow are that, I think it's a thing like be ready to be a little confused. I think, and like Tenet says, don't think about it, just feel it. And I think this movie's got a lot of feeling that you can latch onto, and as upon rewatches, you kind of start to understand it. Which, speaking of Tenet, on Saturday, I'm having some people over from the film club again to watch Tenet.
Nice.
And we might double feature the one. So it'll be
that's insane.
It'll be fun. But yeah. So prop from Blade Runner, Deckard's gun is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from.
Actually, no. I'm going to stick with the. I've always loved Deckard's trench coat.
Yeah, it was
the Blade Runner trench coat.
I knew you were gonna pick Deckard's trench coat.
Yeah. his whole fit really like I like his like colored tie and stuff. It's like the 80s kind of like his whole fit's really good.
Yeah, I like his hair too. The whole look is perfect.
Yeah, great design for everybody. The hair, all of the hair, just all the production elements.
Yeah,
in this movie is just
all the characters have like the very distinctive visual look to them.
Yeah.
If I were to be perfectly on brand, I would take the Deckard gun, but I'm not going to. I really want the Tyrell Pyramid. I want the model. However, even if it's the size of my apartment, I still want it. And I want it with a functional elevator.
That's a good one. Actually, another one that I liked. He calls Rachel on like a little phone terminal.
Yeah,
the
vid
club.
phone. Yeah,
it's like the vid phone. It looked like something.
It's
like,
so cool.
Out of Alien Isolation or whatever.
Yeah,
I want that like in my house.
It's got the big cross on the screen for some reason.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fucking sick. All the retro future tech just gets me.
It just feels like a world you could actually like run around in. Like that scene where he's chasing Zara.
Yeah, Zara. Yeah.
It's so long of them just running through these streets, and it's just like, God, the money that they spent on this.
Oh,
and
yeah,
all the little details. It just feels like such a lived-in world.
Yeah, no, you couldn't make something like this again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sticking with the trench coat.
Good call.
But yeah, check out Blade Runner, folks. It's great.
Classic.
Classic. Blade Runner 2049. Before do you want to talk a little bit about the 2049 shorts?
Sure. I don't have much to say about them, but
they're cool.
I think the anime one's the coolest one.
The anime one's pretty fucking sick. We establish all the these new replicants, these new Nexus 8s have a little mark on their eyeball.
Yeah, they have the serial number printed on their eye.
They have the same Weyland Yutani fucking eyeball thing, which I think they stole from this because they only started the Weyland Yutani bots only started having that with Alien Romulus.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And it's funny because it's kind of a staple of them now. Like fucking Elle Fanning and like the eyeball branding. It was a thing in Badlands. It was a thing in Romulus.
Yep. It's now a thing with the synths.
Is now a thing.
It's fine. You got it from a Ridley Scott property.
It all feeds back on itself.
It all blends together.
Exactly. So with Blade Runner 2049, before the movie came out, they dropped these 3 short films, which 2 of them are directed by Luke Scott, Ridley Scott's son, the live action ones, and then The anime one is directed by a guy who what's it called? Where's my thing? Short films. Is directed by like a legendary animator. I'm pretty sure. I forget what animes he's done, but
they really cram a lot into that. What, like 10 minutes?
15 minutes.
It's a whole story.
Yeah, no, it's a whole thing. Yes, Shishiro Watanabe, who he created Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo.
Damn,
Okay, that
right.
makes sense.
Yeah, that
So
makes sense.
respect on the name. It's a really high quality anime. It shows they refer to the blackout a lot in
Yeah, it's cool to know exactly what happened. It's basically the same thing that happens in Cyberpunk, of just a big nuclear blast that like knocked everything out, and it just deleted the registry of replicants.
Yeah, fire sale just got rid of all the data.
Yeah, just a big terrorist attack.
Yeah. I like some of the little we get like a little itty bits of lore in here as well. Like we see like a little flash of a list of replicants that are being hunted, and we see young anime Dave Bautista in there, who which I just want to say I something I was mad about when this movie came out. I was looking forward. Batista was all over the ads.
Yep.
For this movie, they were really selling it on Batista, and in the actual movie, he's great.
Yeah.
In the opening.
Oh yeah, it's one of his best roles, weirdly enough.
And I also think he's great in his short film, because he's the focus of We're just gonna skip around a little bit. To anything else you want to say about the anime one?
It's good. It's got big Blade Runner vibes. It honestly felt a lot like the Cyberpunk anime, and it's cool. We meet these characters. It kind of explained to me for the first time like why the replicants would carve their eyes out, because without a registry, the eye is the only way to identify them as a replicant. So
I feel like that would backfire, because then people would be like, "Why?"
People with eye patches now get put on a registry.
It's pretty interesting. You didn't lose the other eye.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I liked it. And then there's the live action one that has Jared Leto kind of in it.
Yep.
Clearly, they had him for like a couple
2036.
hours.
Yeah, that one's the worst one. It's just like he has a little meeting. Check out my new replicants, my angels.
Yeah, a lot of his audio is ADR, and you see him from behind a lot, so it feels like they got him in. They did his makeup, and he sat there for like a couple hours and read a few lines, but that's all they got him for. It's just a meeting, and it doesn't make any sense because replicants are outlawed at this point. And he's making a case as to why he should be able to make new replicants, because he can make them obey. And the way he proves that is he brings his servant that's with him the whole time. This is Wallace, by the way. He's like Tyrell's replacement after Tyrell got killed. And this is like the new big bad corporation.
He's way weirder and more like fucking cult leader.
Yeah, there's a reason it's my favorite Jared Leto performance, because he's basically just himself.
Yeah, he's just a weird, creepy
just playing
bastard.
a creepy weirdo like he is in real life. But he like the way he's able to convince them to let him make more replicants is by bringing a replicant with him and ordering him to kill himself, and he just does. He's like, you either kill me or kill yourself, and it kills itself. And that somehow, they're all like grossed out and offended, but that somehow leads to them legalizing. Yeah, that gets the thumbs up.
Bringing replicants back.
It's honestly pretty lame, and it kind of looks like it looks
fan film.
It looks like a fan film. It looks like a contest movie you'd see like locally. It clearly doesn't have anywhere near the budget of the movie.
Yeah.
Of like a scene from the movie or anything like that.
Yeah. And then my favorite of the three, 2048, Nowhere to Run.
Yep.
Which is basically like we see, it's just like a little short just starring Dave Bautista's character in this movie, who's like he's a replicant. He was specifically like a combat replicant, like medic, because he's fucking huge. And we just get this scene where like he has a protein farm. He's buying just like some supplies on the market for it.
Yep.
There's this little girl that like he brings books, and he's and it's a little bit on the nose in the sense like it's about a warrior priest who is trying to figure out what it means to be human.
Yeah. It's about some kind of ghost dog.
Yeah, no, it's called the Hakakuri. Hakakuri. Bushido.
It's a little. I liked it. I thought it was a little too like, wow, he's helping a kid, and then like, oh, he really only gave himself up because he helped a kid, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It felt a little played out. I think I don't know for me.
I mean, I just like the part when he beats the shit out of those dudes.
It's a cool action scene. Yeah, it's a cool
I
fight.
think
He kills
sound
those
design-
fuckers.
He does. The sound design, and honestly, even with Batista's character, I think is really
Oh, dude!
not
in
not
that
just
opening
in the scene,
scene.
but in the opening. Like he sounds heavy.
Yeah, when he
like
falls. Yeah.
Like when he hits some of those dudes in nowhere to run, like with like the metal thing, it sounds like they got hit by a fucking truck.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, so
it's basically just how Dave Bautista got
yeah.
put on the Blade Runner list.
And I remember watching it before the movie came out. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see him kick more ass in the movie.
And he kind of does.
He does.
Yeah, he kicks Ryan Gosling's ass pretty bad.
In the opening. But yeah, speaking of the opening of this movie, though, I adore the opening of this movie.
Fun fact: I was just watching the making of documentary for Blade Runner 1, and they described the opening scene that they originally, like the original writer had written for Blade Runner 1.
And it was pretty
It's
much
the exact
scene.
same scene.
That's cool.
It's he lands on a farm. There's even like a tree in the concept art that has like the wires. I don't think
cool.
it was going to relate to anything in the story, but they incorporated
It was just a cool visual.
Yeah, and he Deckard would go into the house. He'd see the soup boiling, and he'd sit down. He'd wait, and then a big guy in a farmer's outfit would come in. I'm like, holy shit! This is just fucking Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
They use the original opening scene for the sequel. I love when they do stuff like that.
That's really cool.
But in the original, Deckard would have just shot him. So it's
yeah, no, there wouldn't. Yeah,
they wouldn't have had the
been,
fight. Yeah.
They wouldn't have gone through the walls like the Terminators. Yeah, so pretty much. Yeah, like I say, Gosling shows up. I love the shot of him coming out of the fog with his giant turtleneck.
This movie is so. I love that this movie is so visually striking.
Yeah.
But in a different way from the original. Like,
yeah.
Overall, the tone, like, you can tell it's a legacy sequel. Like,
I think it's more stylized.
Yeah.
And I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean it's got Villeneuve like written all over it, and like everything feels very grand and operatic and huge and important. That's not really in the original, but it works. It's a different director's vision, and the two fit together really well. I think in that how different they are. They complement each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Villeneuve is a master of scale.
Yeah.
And a master of like as far as like I want to see him do some fucking like Lovecraft shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Lovecraftian adaptations or whatever. Just as far as like I think about Arrival is still my favorite movie of his. And just some of the shots in Arrival are like initially of the spaceship in the field. Like there's like a shot where there's I love the shot where Amy Adams first gets to the military facility and the alien spaceship is in the background. Like she's trying her best not to look. She's so stressed out about it. Like it's so otherworldly, and it is out of focus in the background. It's this giant thing.
It's this big bean.
You know, and yeah, exactly. This big potato chip. I just realized there's an Arrival episode that I did with Jack. You weren't on that one.
Yeah, I love Arrival. I think I still prefer this to Arrival though, just personally. I think I think it's just it's entirely personal preference. I just prefer this kind of like super, like immersive sci-fi where the entire world is different.
Yeah, but yeah, everything just feels so much more grand in this one. Like all of the shots of Ryan Gosling, like out, like walking through the streets and stuff, are like from like at least medium to far away. Yeah. Like they really put you in the environment.
I mean, like one thing that this and the original have in common is fucking baller scenes of just flying cars, just flying around cities. I want to watch like a compilation of all those shots, specifically with
flying
the music.
Past the Atari logo.
Because honestly, yeah, the Atari logo projected on the wall that they use on the poster. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
They use the converging lines, but the score of this movie also fucking rips. I gotta say, like it gets super experimental and like noise almost at some points, but it works so well. Like I can't think of Blade Runner 2049 without thinking about without thinking of right after Vegas when he gets captured and there's that really cool transition of them flying through the city and you just hear wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Like it's wild and it just works and you wouldn't expect it to.
Mine is the synth really like gets heavy and distorted when he Dr. Stelline tells him that the dream was real.
Yeah.
And he's like, he thinks that he's the child, and he's like, he screams like that, and the music like just adds on to it. Like,
damn it!
Yeah, the music in the relation to this movie feels. You're right. It is so different from the original. It's like, how do I put it?
Well, I think it's the stakes are different too.
The stakes are different. The original has the. I don't think this movie has a dreamlike feel. This movie almost has like a more than real, like a hyper real.
It feels huge. Everything feels huge and important. Whereas like
Yeah.
a lot of the time in Blade Runner, it just felt like people living their lives.
Yeah, like there's just this how do I put it? Yeah, I think Denis Villeneuve in general just like does such a good job at making the characters feel like ants almost.
Yeah,
like all of his spaces and sets.
This world
like
he was a perfect
giant.
choice to direct this. He makes Los Angeles and like the surrounding areas just feel like they just dwarf you.
Yeah, like you feel like a tiny fish
You're
in a
nothing.
big ass ocean.
Yeah, you're nothing. Like you fly over the city and you can look down and you see the like the neon and the holograms and the little cracks between the buildings. It's like that's where the people are.
Exactly, just in those little cracks and like under shit. Just how nasty Kay's apartment is. Like there's just like constantly people everywhere. Fucking I love that. And like his door is like graffitied on it. Somebody calls him like, "You're a pretty skin jacket."
Can I say just as a little flashback aside? The scene where the first time we hear the term "skin job" in Blade Runner 1, do you remember the voiceover in the theatrical cut?
I don't. It's been so long since I've seen that.
It's got the most unnecessary N-word in any movie I've ever heard.
Oh yes, I do remember that actually.
He's like, basically, this guy's a racist. Just so you know, he's like the equivalent of like a sci-fi racist.
Yeah, he's like a KKK.
Just so you know.
Yep.
If he was in modern times, he'd say the N-word probably.
Yep.
But anyway, that's just a little aside.
I remember that scene. Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah, it really. I was watching it. Like Avery was about to leave, and she was like putting her shoes on. We both looked at each other like, "What the fuck? What did that add?"
Yeah, no, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
but 2049 just has this great scale. Yeah, like definitely memorable characters. The character of Love hit me a lot harder this time around.
Yeah.
This is almost similar, not similar to Rachel, but just like a character that I in previous watches I never really took the time to kind of like see the fact of just how do I put it, how much she's kind of bought into Wallace's vision of like, yeah, like we need us as a slave race.
Yeah, there's a lot of people crying in this movie, and she's a good example. Like there's a lot of people just tears fall when someone says something grand and dramatic. Yeah. But she is very focused.
She's also vicious.
Yeah, she is. I think the reason she buys into it, she worships Wallace as her creator, and she only lives to like please him essentially. Like, and that's part of her programming, but it's also like she gets a grand thrill from just being superior to humans and to other replicants. Like, she's a really interesting character.
Yeah, she's got a lot of layers, a lot going on. She also, the way she kills is really, the way she kills David Smolchin.
Oh my god!
In the morgue,
it always makes me cringe when he's like laying there, like choking, and his neck is broken.
Yeah, just
yeah.
She's just fucking
Both of these movies have so many just like they have that noir thing of just going around and meeting like dozens of like quirky just people who live in the city and talking to them and like getting their expertise, like Dr. Badger, played by the guy from Captain Phillips.
This viewing really makes me want to go back and watch like some classic noirs, because I haven't really seen classic ones. Like we watched Devil in a Blue Dress with my mom. Like I love the format of
a good noir.
I need to see the just like the
Gotta play LA Noire, man.
the spilling of the tail. Just like every scene is just like so. Because honestly, like a noir is almost like it's a bunch of like little mini movies almost that tie into one. Just like every like little character, every little scene is like its own isolated thing.
Yeah.
That brings you to the next and just.
Yep. Gotta play LA Noire, man. That's what it's all about. Yeah, no, I'm big into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love the format, and I think it's perfect for a world so alien to ours, like these movies. Is like you get to feel like you've like taken a tour of this world, and you've met these interesting people. And you know, I think the characters are a little less quirky. I think the sensibility is a little less quirky, just because it's kind of a more modern movie.
Yeah.
There's less, like you said, there's less of that dreamlike, kind of absurdist. Like you won't see like the little wind-up toys.
Creepy,
the little creepy critters.
The little creepy men.
Yeah.
The little abominations.
In this movie.
No, yeah, this movie isn't about that kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's a little more serious. It takes itself a little more serious than Blade Runner, I think.
Yeah, it's a little more like kind of clean cut. I don't necessarily want to say like it's impressive as far as like Denis Villeneuve got to the point where like as an artist they can trust him to kind of do weird shit like this. But yeah, no, I still definitely prefer the original. I think I love how open ended like the original leaves you thinking a lot more than this one. And especially because ultimately the how do I put it?
This movie is kind of a subversion of just like a prophecy story, kind of. I mean,
it's Robo Jesus.
Yeah,
it's kind of Robo Jesus.
I think for me, one of the things that's really interesting about Blade Runner is how I like the fact that you have to give this the replicants a personality test to like find out who they are. That's completely out the window for 2049.
They got codes on their eyeballs.
They walk among us, and they're pretty much just slaves who live among us and work menial jobs. So like Love says, like we were much harder to spot back then. And now we can have replicants and they can be openly weird and like strange and like you cannot like there's that guy who works at Wallace that Kay is talking to like get the records on Rachel.
Yeah.
And like he's telling him about like his experience with the blackout, and I've always taken it as like, oh, that's an implant memory that he's telling.
Oh yeah, all my baby pictures.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I'm sure you were adorable.
Oh yeah, I never interpreted it that way, but that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's funny. I get that.
Honestly, Kay is a super likable character in this. Yeah,
no, he's I think like a lot of it comes down to like I've always liked Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Gosling
he's great.
Always said a good, and especially because I almost think of Ryan Gosling as a more comedic actor. Like in general,
dude,
like
the Nice Guys is hilarious.
Nice Guys hilarious, or like even just his role in Barbie, just as far as like and he's really good at expressing a lot with such a still fucking face.
He's got that like crooked little face.
He does have like one little, and I think it's more the eyes.
Yeah.
And his body language too. Think about something like there's a scene in La La Land that I was really liking, which I want to rewatch La La Land. There's a scene where like he when he's at like his like fucking gig that he sold out at or whatever, like corporate gig or whatever, and like they're asking him to do all these like ridiculous things, and like bite your lip like this, like you're really focusing, and you just see him. And the rest of his face doesn't change, and he's so frustrated. But like he's communicating that with like
he's great. He's really good at subtly, and it's perfect for this series. He's really good at subtly conveying. Yeah. He's a perfect cast to play an android.
Yeah, no, 100%. They call him Pretty Robot.
Yeah.
We mentioned it earlier, but him and not Anya Taylor-Joy. Ana de Armas have a really good chemistry.
Yeah.
And like I said, just the weirdness of their relationship and just how what's it called? I think a lot of it too counts in that like I think you get a lot of his humanity too through just like how he like and a lot of that too in terms of like how he his scenes with Joy and how he treats her and kind of like how he like even down to like like you said, it probably is all programmed in terms of like she's definitely programmed to encourage you
and like
to get the little stick.
And he obviously
and,
he knows, like.
Yeah, he knows about it, but it's just like something where it's just
one of my favorite parts is he comes home for the first time and he's like, "You want a drink?" And he pours 2 glasses and then he knocks one glass against the other and he just drinks both.
Yeah.
Like he like, you can tell he's got that kind of self-pity because like he's so isolated because he's so discriminated against and he can't relate to anybody, so he's like he is peak male loneliness.
Exactly.
The robot.
Just like indulging in like just indulging in his robo girlfriend. Or like even the thing where it's like she sits down on the table and he moves his feet and it's like you don't have to move your feet.
Yeah, exactly.
She's gonna fucking go right through it. But yeah, and I think a lot of that adds to the endearing. Like you said, you feel bad, but also just kind of this endearingness of like, oh, okay, like he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he just wants connection and he doesn't have it.
Yep. But what's it called? Yeah, and then later Robin Wright hits on him and he's like, nah.
Yeah, his boss. What happens if I finish that? I gotta say, all the dialogue in this movie is great. It does have that super like big, like operatic feel to it. The way everyone says everything is kind of like they're giving like a soliloquy.
Oh my God, it's Jason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
especially Jared Leto. Jared Leto speaks only in like biblical passage.
Yeah. Only in this is gonna be my Oscar reel footage.
Yeah. This is the only Jared Leto performance I enjoy because he's doing exactly what you would get Jared Leto for. Yeah. Getting him as a relatable protagonist, I don't know why they keep fucking trying it.
I think something that's scary about Wallace to me is that Wallace feels like such a natural evolution to like what the billionaires and trillionaires of the world will become.
Yeah, well, it's like
it's something where it's like I'm thinking about Alien Earth right now and how like kind of goofy they portray like a lot of like, oh yeah, these trillionaires are just like weird Willy Wonka characters. I'm like, no, they'd be like weird, fucked up, like think they're gods.
No, it is.
People.
That's exactly what billionaires are right now. So it's like if a guy like this has used slave labor that he has created to take humanity to 9 more planets. He's like 9. A child can count to 9.
We should own the stars.
Yeah, it's like this. That is how billionaires feel. Like if you listen to
eyes are creepy.
Yeah. No. Yeah. If you listen to like how actual billionaires talk, they're like, I am the only hope humanity has to go in a direction where we can excel. Like you hit a certain level of self-importance where you think that you are humanity's savior, and no matter what you do is justified. And yeah, his robot eyes are creepy.
When the replicant woman pops, we see a replicant get like born or whatever. The replicant woman falls out of a big gooey sack.
Out of a big plastic bag. Yeah.
And it just flops on the ground. And I remember thinking, like, is that how all replicants? Like, that's a shitty way to get born.
That's how the new ones are made, I guess.
Do they all just get pooped out in this one room?
That performance always strikes me. Like that. Oh, that actress.
That actress.
Like they must have gotten like an interpretive dancer or something. She does such a good job of conveying all those like nuance, like learning how to use your limbs and like that fear and you're gasping. Yeah. She does such a good job.
She literally looks like a fucking sounds weird, like a baby deer being born or something.
And then Jared Leto kills her instantly.
Yeah, just like right the fuck away.
Yeah.
Such a merciless. Which that's another thing too is like a lot of like how you can feel about how do I put it? A lot of how you can feel about like whether or not like you consider replicants alive or like is a robot alive or whatever, you can't watch that and not feel sorry for her. In the sense of like whether or not you consider her life or like she like any opportunity she had to like be whatever she could be was just he just took out because like he's like, oh yeah, she's
defective. She doesn't work like I want her to.
Exactly, she's an item. Like
that's how society sees replicants in both of these movies.
Society sees poor people.
Yep, exactly.
Like
can I also just say as like a non sequitur, I love that both of these movies are rated R.
Yeah, hardcore rated R.
Like they're specifically the first one. Like these are movies made for grown-ups. Like these are. I like that we still have like adult sci-fi like that make you. I don't know. That's just a little extra thing I like I like that it's so serious and grown up, and it doesn't patronize you very much. I'm a big fan of that, and also I like blood and swearing.
Yeah. Oh, and I want another scene I really love. I love the scene in the casino music hall.
Yeah.
And the timing with the music.
Yeah, cutting in and out, and the hollow
Elvis. Yeah. Just really like.
It's so creative. It's such a good idea. I love Vegas in general.
It's a great location.
I will say, I think it's just his age. For one, I wish I hadn't had it spoiled that Harrison Ford was in this movie before I saw it.
I think he was in the trailer.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I wish he wasn't on the poster and in the trailers, because honestly, it's presented as a big reveal.
It is. But I feel like that was definitely an early on thing. Warner Brothers is like, no.
No, you're not going to have Harrison Ford in this movie. We're not going to advertise it. Yeah. But I wish I hadn't known. It might. I think it is just because he's so much older, but they do not feel like the same character to me at all. Mm-hmm. Like I know, and I don't even know how you do it differently, because he's still got that kind of like world weary like humor to him. Like he's like, I like this song. Let's get a drink. It's like he pours the whiskey out for the dog. It doesn't. I don't know. Does it feel like the same character for you?
I mean, to me, it does. It's also the same character that's had
50 years. 30 years.
Like 30 years of.
That's a good point. Of running.
Like being on the run. His values of life are so much different than we saw Deckard. Like he is far from like Deckard, the merciless Blade Runner that he was like coming out of.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That, he's a daddy.
His job is to protect the identity of his child.
He's also presumably been like alone in Vegas with this
dog and millions of bottles of whiskey.
I like. I was like, is it real? And he's like, I don't know. Ask him.
Exactly.
That felt very Deckard to me.
No, you're right. Yeah, that is like that perfectly sums up. Like he doesn't care. Like, is it a replicant? Is it not? Am I a replicant? Am I not? What fucking difference does it make? If I know I am, or if I know I'm human, like I'm still just gonna be me. Like what's?
I really appreciate that nothing in this movie like pushes the Deckard is a replicant theory in one way or another.
Yeah, I mean they hint at it a little bit, like Wallace.
Oh no, they tool around with it, but like
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't definitively choose one way or the other. You're right. Mm-hmm. I really appreciated about that when it came out too. Like I do like that we talked about earlier, the scene with Wallace talking to him about Rachel, about like how instant your connection.
Yeah.
You it's almost like you were designed to meet her at that exact moment. And he's like, it doesn't matter. I know what's real. Exactly. I love that. That's such a perfect line for that character.
Speaking of that scene, how do we feel about CGI young?
I've never seen it done better. I'm not gonna lie.
It is the best de-aging.
I have never seen. It's seamless. If I didn't know, like there's a little bit of like a weird kind of film grain kind of thing going on with her, but I think it helps a lot because the lighting in the Wallace building is so similar to the lighting in the Tyrell building. They both have that kind of gold side lighting.
I think a lot of the things with de-aging is the fact that like I had just watched Blade Runner. I watched them back to back.
They replicate that scene.
Yeah, no, like perfectly, and that was a lot of my thing. Was like I know that I'm not looking at a real person right now, so it's that uncanny. But yeah, no, it is like definitely example like some of the best, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, all the effects in this movie, like even like the spinner, like when he's flying and he gets shot down, it's seamless. Like you were right. Like this is the peak of when effects looked the best that they ever did.
No, 100%. Like they, it all just went super downhill from there. I also want to talk about the final fight.
I just need 1 second. I need to close the door because the cat opened it.
Rock and roll.
Okay. Never mind. Avery got it.
Okay, rock and roll. Hi Avery. What's it called? The final fight scene between Love and in the
seawall or whatever.
Yeah, in the seawall, and like she like. The water's coming into the car, and she's just real vicious shit.
Yeah, she's like, Yeah, and when she comes back, and Kay ends up strangling her. It's such a difficult scene, and she's looking up at someone who's like finally superior to her. It's very satisfying ending for that character.
Yeah, and then I like the ending of this first movie here. Like Kay dying in the snow, realizes he's not a special boy, but he had his part.
Yeah, and he realized, like, he looks at, he's like, I'm only gonna be special if like I do something like to actually help this cause. I don't know. It's a little less philosophical than the first movie.
Yeah. Oh, the first movie has the perfect ending. Just the elevator slamming shut.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a little. I mean, him dying on the stairs is very poetic and beautiful, and him clearing Deckard's like record, which doesn't, makes as much sense as something can make. I mean,
Yeah.
there's probably, if you think too hard about either of these, you're gonna find some kind of issue here or there because it's sci-fi. But I think I do really like the ending. What was I gonna say? I was gonna bring up some other scene that I really liked. Oh, the orphanage.
Oh yeah, that scene's crazy.
So after he gets shot down, and Love uses orbital rockets to save him, which is I really like, because like he gets shot down and he's almost taken by these like scavvers, and then they all
casually while she's getting her nails done.
She's
like
like
marking like
over.
Before shoot fire.
All the tech in both of these movies is voice activated, by the way, which I really like. Just fly around and take a bunch of pictures. But all the scavengers get blown up by like these rockets from the sky, and Kay's just like standing there. He like looks up, like, what the fuck? Like, he
doesn't question it. Keeps going.
He has no explanation for that. But yeah, no, I like the orphanages in like in this this overturned like satellite dish, like this massive satellite. And who's that actor? He was in The Walking Dead too.
Morgan.
Yeah.
He's Morgan in The Walking Dead. I don't know the actor's name, but he's great.
He brings so much emotion to this role that could just be like a shitheel from Mad Max or something.
Bigger than you, trying to shut me down.
He's like,
and they were men at that.
Yeah, exactly. He's like on the verge of like panicking. Like he
That's how he is as Morgan too. We're currently paused a little bit in our Walking Dead journey, but Morgan is like top 3 favorite characters.
Yeah, I really liked him in the pilot.
Morgan's badass.
But he could easily just be this like evil like child catcher asshole, but it's clear like this is the only way I've figured out how to fucking survive. I need to make money off these kids or I'm gonna fucking starve to death. Like, you do not come here and shut me down. Like, he's clearly a piece of shit, but he's like a piece of shit by necessity. Like, he can't think of any other way to like to eke out a living out here. It's so hard. So he sees this guy come and try to hold him to account, and he has this like super big emotional, like scared, indignant response. I don't know, it could easily be a throwaway character, and he's only in it for a couple scenes, but he's got this crazy emotional resonance.
Yeah, no, he's really powerful stuff. So that whole environment just so disgusting.
Yeah, he's using these kids to like these little nimble fingers to strip electronics, to strip like rare elements from electronics. Yeah. It's like, and I do encourage play. I do.
I do.
Keeps them fit. Keeps them nimble.
Yep. Just fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a great scene.
I like Dr. Badger too.
Oh, Dr. Badger's cool. Yeah, no, he identifies the tree. Very old. You must be rich. Real tree. You must be really rich.
Just like, do you want a horse? I can get you a real horse.
That dude's the main pirate guy from Captain Phillips.
Yep, those were his two roles. What else? I don't know what else he was in, but I thought seeing him in this movie was like, man, this guy's a real rising star. I bet I'm going to see him in a lot of other stuff.
And then it was pretty much just these two.
Yeah, no, because and it's essentially the getting the fish scale analyzed scene from the first movie, like to a T. But this guy's
same kind of thing.
Like, so, you want me to tell you it's wood? It's real wood. Now, what do you want me to do for you? You want a real animal? You want a horse?
Yeah.
Dr. Badger will get it for you.
It's not like it's a remake, but there are definitely certain beats that it hits, like, just in terms of, like, in the detective story elements of it that, No,
it's
but,
like poetry, it rhymes.
Yeah. Also, another thing I like about 2049, I really don't think you need to see the original to get the story of this one.
Nope.
In fact, it almost might be like beneficial. Like if this is your first, I know plenty of people where like this is their first Blade Runner movie, and then they went back and watched it. I think it's a decent springboard because
it's not a bad way to do it. Just know that they're completely different experiences.
Yeah, and just as far as like the original one just goes so much more.
It's quieter. It's slower.
Into the slower, quieter, more like into the soul.
It's more character focused than action and story focused. And I'm honestly like, if one personal critique, it's not even a critique, it's just like personal preference. I'm not a big fan of like the chosen one narrative, or even the fact that the replicants just
the whole thing of like a pregnant.
Yeah, a replicant
feels a little too.
It's a bit of a stretch because, like I said, like we view the reality, the way that they're manufactured and like their nature differently. I see that as like fundamentally like impossible. It's the whole MacGuffin of the movie. Like Wallace is trying to figure out how the fuck it happened too, but I also like. I don't know. I think it's a little vague at the end of like, we have to keep the flame alive and keep her safe so eventually we can have some kind of big robot revolution. It's not going to happen in this movie.
We can have replicant John Connor.
Yeah, exactly. We can have some big robot civil war, an uprising, but we're probably never going to see.
Terminator really is like the dumbhead version of all these like AI.
Yeah, Terminator is it's like how Predator's the jock version of Alien.
Yeah, like it's the real meathead idea of like, we're gonna have this guy named John Connor who knows how to turn those machines, and also John Connor, JC, Jesus Christ.
Whoa, that's so deep.
Okay, James Cameron, we see you out there. Yeah, no, fucking. Well, hey, funnily enough, that's like James Cameron,
JC,
Terminator, Ridley Scott, Blade Runner.
Ridley Scott almost made Dune. Dune was made by Denis Villeneuve.
James Cameron's Dune. I mean, you can go see James Cameron's Dune 3 in the Avatar: Fire and Ash.
God, do you like Avatar?
No. I hate the story.
I saw Avatar 1 when it came out, and then I never thought about it a single time after that.
They are wonderful examples of like how pretty you can make a movie with infinite money.
It's like,
and that's about
it's
it.
like a big effects demo reel. The movie is my takeaway. It's like this is the most basic ass like Pocahontas fucking like who cares who cares like this is the lamest thing you can do with an alien planet is just make it Earth with floating rocks. I don't care.
It's only interesting in that, like, yes, like how much, like what can you get by throwing infinite money at something?
Yeah.
And it's like, yep, looks pretty good.
It's such a lame. It's like, oh, they also have water oceans and they also have green foliage, and it's like, give me the Predator Badlands alien planet any day.
Over Pandora.
Yeah, absolutely.
Them Navi wouldn't stand one day. I do love the meme from that speech in Avatar 1, just like everything out there behind that wall wants to kill you and use your eyes for juju bees. Actually, the best part of the Avatar movies is Colonel Miles Quaritch, is Stephen Lang. He's great in those movies.
Is that the guy who's like, look at all that cheddar?
No. That's not him. That's Giovanni Ribisi's character.
I see.
No, Stephen Lang's the military guy. He's the He's the Captain Quaritch.
I remember Sigourney Weaver's there and doesn't do anything.
He's just a big meathead villain, and he's very funny to me.
Okay.
We'll get you your legs back, son. Your real legs. And he's in like the giant mech, where it's like, yeah. But God. So back to Blade. 2049. Go check it out.
Beautiful movie.
Yeah,
good.
Even if you haven't seen the first one.
If you want something that's a little less challenging, I'd say. It's a lot more accessible. It's honestly, you could argue it's more entertaining. I definitely at one point found it more entertaining than the original. I think at this point in my life, I'd rather watch Blade Runner 1. But honestly, I love them both. I think it's a great movie, and I like the way this guy directs.
Yeah, agreed. Same. Denis Villeneuve always gonna be on the lookout for his newest thing. I'm excited to see what he does with Dune Messiah.
Yeah. I bet it'll be a lot like the first two.
Dune Messiah is my favorite book of. I'm like halfway through Children of Dune. which is the third book, and Dune Messiah is my favorite so far. So we'll see what there's a lot of interesting.
I bet it'll be cool.
Yeah. We'll still Dune Messiah episode review will be an episode of Midnight Movie Gang, almost as certainly as AVP3. But yeah, props for Blade Runner 2049.
Dude, I don't even know everything.
There's
they
so
don't
many
use
things.
models. I don't know.
No. I really like Kay's gun in this. I like Kay's Blade Runner gun.
Yeah.
The design of it's pretty cool to me.
I think I
like
still prefer the original.
Oh, the Deckard gun is definitely cooler, but like I like the sound design of like when he lands in the trash yard and he shoots like 5 of the dudes and it's like
yeah,
like it's really
in the Vegas thing where he busts through that wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, that's so fucking sick.
Deckard runs through a door and like closes it and locks it behind him, and then Kay just busts through the wall. It always makes me laugh every time.
It's really funny. Yeah.
God,
there's similar
props.
scenes. Yeah.
This one's hard for props, honestly.
This one is a little.
You know what
harder.
I like the baseline test thing on the wall.
Cells.
Yeah, interlinked.
Interlinked.
That to me, I realized this most recent viewing, and it's probably obvious, but for some reason it didn't hit me until now. That's that's a Voight-Kampff test that they're doing on him. They're doing a Voight-Kampff every single time he comes back from a mission.
Yeah, to make
sure he's not, because they can develop emotions over time, and they're making sure he's not doing that. I never put it together until this most recent viewing.
No, fucking crazy. Oh, one other little thing I like. There's like a lot of nice little world building details. How like he's like 99% detoxified water, and like in his shower, he just gets one big dunk of water on him, just like pressurized. Like
I want a shower like that.
There's your water.
I want a shower that takes 0.5 seconds.
Everybody always must smell really stinky though, so this is not enough.
No, you just need high enough water pressure that just blasts off that top layer of skin.
To really get you. Yeah, probably. I think I'm gonna take Kay's gun.
That's a good one.
Or maybe his little a model of his little bird guy that comes out of his car.
Yeah, the little camera boy.
Yeah.
I think the spinner is cool. I do like his car a lot.
I changed my mind. I'm taking the horse, the wooden horse.
You taking the wooden horse? I thought about that, but then I was like, I could just have that.
No, I completely changed my mind. I really know what I want.
Okay.
I want in Dr. Stilling her little dream creator device.
Oh yeah, that thing is sick.
Her little dream controller. I love how she made it look
thocks apart
like
and it clicks together and.
Yeah.
that is so sick. I love the way he sees sci-fi and like future tech, and the way he presents that. Like the Dune movies just click into this movie so hard. Like they're just when I first watched like his like the first Dune movie, I was like, this is the same exact visual language, like in the way it's presenting tech, like when the dragonfly thing flew in. Yeah, it was like that is something that would be in like Blade Runner 2049. Like that reminded me so much of like the little camera eyes that Wallace uses.
Yeah, it's a thing where it's like I think somehow. I'm usually not a big fan of like minimalist aesthetics, but I think that Denis Villeneuve has a way to like he uses the fact that there's a lot of very sleek designs, sleek elements, like really like not a whole lot of texture necessarily in his production, but he uses that lack of to give us a sense of strangeness.
Everything feels exotic and like you're interested in the way this thing works rather than it's like the way it looks.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's really interesting
like
how
the little like clicks that the camera things make is always interesting to me. It's like, why are they clicking like that? Do they use like echolocation, or is that how they fly? Like the little buttons in the wooden case that she opens that click on the back of his head. Yes. No. That actually might be my prop. That box with those little magnetic things.
Remind me what scene we're talking about.
So I'm trying to remember. When the eyes that come floating in for Wallace, that comes after Joy.
Oh yeah.
Or not Joy. Love opens the wooden box and she's got all these little
all these little
buttons
things.
that have
Yes.
like different like branding and marking on them must do different
Oh my
things.
God,
He just picks
yes.
one and it clicks on the back of his skull.
Once again, that's an example of like, the suggestion of a larger world.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay,
Like-
I understand what this thing is.
Like, what are those other ones?
Yeah,
do?
exactly.
It's
Nah,
and
I
it's
still,
Ridley
want
Scott.
I still want the Voight-Kampff camera. That's what I. That's still what I want.
Yeah, it's a good one. Ridley Scott talked a lot about that with the first Alien, and that the studio wanted to cut the space jockey scene.
Really?
Wanted to cut the pilot
It's important.
like chair. It's important, but the studio was like, well, why does it have to be a big set? Can't it just be like a body on the ground or whatever? Like
These
you know,
uncreative
and-
financial assholes.
Exactly, and it's a thing where it's like, yeah, it's the suggestion in isolation from Prometheus, knowing that like, oh, it's a suit.
I've already forgotten about Prometheus.
the suggestion of a larger world is I think what Ridley Scott historically has kind of brought to sci-fi and like a lot of the dirty universe kind of thing.
It's about making it feel like you could go into these movies and walk around.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Blade Runner 2049, definitely check it out. We haven't talked about Soldier. You know what's funny? At the beginning of this episode, I was going to suggest that we talk about Soldier first because I was like, we are going to wear ourselves out talking about Blade Runner.
To
And
be
we have, in
honest,
fact,
my thought process was like, it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be a lot of like, this is cool. This is why this is cool. These are thoughts. And then when it comes to Soldier, we can just be like, this movie's dumb as fuck.
it's stupid. They're in Trash Planet. They're on the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome set
Why?
of Trash Planet.
Yeah.
And I liked the opening. Like
I didn't.
Him. You didn't?
Is the way
Well,
it was
no,
edited was so obnoxious to me.
It was stupid, but I found it funny.
The way
Just
it
like
would
how.
cut back and forth between two shots. It did that like 3 or 4 different times with like a machine gun sound.
Yeah, I'm talking about like when you see him getting raised as like a super soldier.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. Like that whole montage has all these. Do you remember that? It like when it would cut to a new scene, it would go.
Oh yeah, I do remember it did have that. Yeah, but I just like the whole thing of like seeing how fucking over the top their like life regimen, like the kid who fell behind in line.
And
like,
they just shoot him.
And they just shoot him. It's like, oh shit, well, you got to make the
So
cut.
I guess these kids are cheap, I guess. But like, here's the question: so the Soldier is technically a sequel to Blade Runner.
It technically takes place. And so yeah, Soldier is a
In the most annoying and disappointing way, it says technically it takes place in the same
1998
universe.
science fiction film.
Is it based on a Philip K. Dick story or anything like that?
So I looked up the thing. The writer of the story of this movie is the writer of Blade Runner.
Like which writer? Because there were two. There was an original writer and a like a rewriter. Stories guy was the rewriter, I think.
David Webb Peoples.
Yeah, that was the guy who came in after the fact and and doctored the script.
He thought of like funny. Really, the only connection that is made here is that like they don't say that the evil team of soldiers are replicants, but they're fucking replicants. And also they mention the Tannhauser Gate.
They do.
Like-
That's the thing is like there was no indication that these were replicants because replicants aren't grown from babies.
No, I'm talking not
Oh,
Kurt
the
Russell's-
new ones.
The bald.
See, that's the thing is like I was like, if this takes place in the same universe as Blade Runner, the only way that makes sense is like if why the fuck would we be using human soldiers if we have if replicants are manufactured exclusively to do slave labor off-world, why are we using human soldiers in any capacity whatsoever?
Well, I think it's the thing where it's like what's it
Like,
called?
because Roy Batty is a combat model.
Yeah, but so this movie takes place in 2036. This movie Soldier.
Okay.
Which I don't know.
I guess this
if
is while they're still outlawed.
And well, it's a thing where it's like the character. I think they say that Kurt Russell's character is supposed to be like 38. Like there's the time skips where like during the montage, I think he's supposed to be in like his late 30s.
So this was before replicant technology really like.
It was around when replicant technology was new.
That's why. Yeah, because Kurt Russell is like in his 50s at the time when he was filming this.
Exactly, and so
I
and
guess
they
that
say in
kind
the
of makes
movie
sense.
like, yeah, your guys have like been around for so long doing all this shit. Our new guys, these badass new replicants we got, are gonna come in and fucking take over your shit. And then but the power of Kurt Russell's fucking natural ingenuity, his fucked up Manchurian candidate.
Why the fuck would you cast Kurt Russell, one of the most charismatic actors that's ever been in movies, to be silent and stare like a sad puppy the entire fucking movie? Why would
he
him,
is like
of
a zombie.
all people, he is completely wasted in this movie.
I will
He's
say,
not allowed to emote the entire time.
honestly, I will say, as far as like, I think this movie's boring as shit.
Yes.
But I will say, like, I think that Kurt Russell is doing a decent performance. And, like, I buy the fact that
he's doing his damnedest.
he's just a traumatized little boy.
Well, it's like
who has been nothing but abused and forced into this lifestyle.
So to give like a quick rundown of the plot, I think we can just sum it up real quick. Is like soldiers bred from birth to be soldiers. That's all they know. It's like a Spartan society, but like 10 times worse. They're forced to like see violence and like train from youth, and they only know how to speak when like yes sir, no sir, and like it's already dumb. Like,
they're super indoctrinated. There's a new breed of soldiers that are like replicants.
Yeah, they have no qualms about, like, they're taught to, like, if it's an enemy combatant is hiding behind a civilian, you shoot through the civilian to kill the enemy. And yeah, so that he's been through all these wars, and the one connection to the Blade Runner world is you see like a list of his battles, and it's what is it? It's
the Tannhauser Gate.
And Shoulder of Orion is also there, which I kind of hate because I never, for me, I always figured Roy Batty didn't actually see that stuff. Like
I thought that was just him describing his life experience.
Yeah, I thought it was more like impressionist, like attack ships on fire off the Shoulder of Orion. That could mean like any number of like poetic things. Like I saw moonbeams at the Tannhauser Gate, like glistening in the water. Like what the fuck does that even mean?
I'm assuming that there's some kind of spaceport called Tannhauser Gate.
Moonbeams shining in the water, though. It's like, is that like a planet? Like,
he said the specific line is moonbeam shining through the dark.
Yeah, well, it's that's the thing. It's like it makes something very. It's like,
actually, the exact line is, "I watch sea beams glitter in the dark off the Tannhauser Gate."
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck even is that?
I assume a sea beam is like some big old space laser.
I hate that.
Yeah, is my assumption was always how I.
I think my point is, like, I take his speech at the end as like, I could tell you more in depth like what the things I'm referring to even mean, but I'm out of time. Like it
sounded like StarCraft 2 battles to me.
Yeah, I never took it as that. I took it as very subjective, like the wonders I've seen. It's hard to even put into words. But this movie makes that very literal. Like the shoulder of Orion. Like Orion, like which shoulder? Like Orion is a cluster of stars. And it has two shoulders. So like it's got two stars. And if Roy Batty has, I don't think Roy Batty's been outside of the system. Like I think in the original Blade Runner, I don't think we've excelled outside of the system. I think we're like Mars and Moon is always how at least that's how it is in the book too. Is like they've colonized Mars and Venus.
I don't remember where exactly they referred to there, but in the first Blade Runner, like how far out they went. But I don't know. In Soldier, I see it as, or I always thought those those are just like big space battles that Roy Batty was a part of.
Well, that doesn't make okay. So they are using synthetics at the same time they're using these human soldiers.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also like different. Like the Tyrell Corporation and the Replicants are only like one of like probably a bunch of other super corps that are making like replicants or like making some kind of like super soldiery type deal.
It's true.
You know, like I said, small pieces of life. I know Soldier is just boring.
Yeah, it's kind of
it's
kind of a lame premise too. I don't like.
I do, like I said, with Kurt Russell's performance though, I do think he is giving a good performance. Like he is selling to me, like a guy who was just traumatized and like, scared the whole time.
Yeah. He's making the same face the entire movie though. I think
he really is. Yeah, no, he is just like a stone. Why did they never get this man to play G.I. Joe?
I know. he looks it. I think they just got him because of his jawline, and because he could get super ripped at age 50, whatever.
I like the part where he's beating up the fucking muffler or whatever it is.
Yeah, and he gets murked by this opposing replicant squadron, and they dump him on a trash planet.
They think he's dead,
and then he gets taken in by these
the trash people.
The trash people who crash landed years ago, and then he defends them when the soldiers come back at the end. I think the problem is it could have been anybody. Like they could have gotten any number of actors. Like Kurt Russell is such a charming guy in like every movie I've seen him in. Like an affable, charming guy, and he's so restricted by this role.
Yeah.
And also, like, soldiers talk to each other. Like, why doesn't he speak?
Yeah, no, he's saying, well, these are different kind of soldiers. These are like super fucked up.
But they still have to like communicate with each other. Is the thing.
I feel like we don't get enough Gary Busey being Gary Busey in this movie.
And, Jason Isaacs as well, being like a weird like Howard Hughes.
Yeah, it was crazy when he shot Gary Busey though.
Yeah,
I didn't see that fucking shit coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie was a box office failure, grossing 14 million worldwide against a production budget of 60 million. Despite its financial failure, this film has now become a cult film. I have owned this movie on VHS because I had never seen it before, but when I saw it on the shelf, I'm like, this will come in handy one day.
1998 Kurt Russell movie.
I watched this movie, and you know what's funny? The other day I had the day off, I started this movie, I was sitting on the couch, and I fell asleep, and then I woke up for like the last like 2 minutes when like they're on the spaceship and then like the little boy runs into his arms and the movie was done. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, a lot of this movie takes place on what's the trash planet from Star Wars? It's just exactly that.
There's a trash planet in Star Wars?
Yeah, it's where Darth Maul got deposited. There's a level in Force Unleashed that takes place there.
Oh, you're right. What is the name of that planet?
It's got the same color scheme and everything.
Yeah, no, I forget what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. It's the same planet. It's kind of Mad Max, but there's nothing interesting going on.
Yeah, it's just this like one little like community of survivors.
Michael Chiklis is there.
But Michael Chiklis, he's being goofy.
It's funny because like to my point of like why can't he talk? There's snakes on this planet for some reason, like venomous snakes.
Yeah, but they're cute little green snakes.
They can't actually. Yeah, and one almost gets to this little boy, and he picks it up, and instead of killing it, he throws it away, and he throws a boot to the little boy. Instead of saying smash it with the boot, he like an ape crouches down and mimics smashing it with a boot. It's like he knows how to talk. He's demonstrated he knows how to talk. I
like the part where he's just shoveling down food.
Yeah.
In the cafeteria. That was funny.
No, it's really boring and lame. I don't really know how much I have to say about it. I don't like it as an addition to Blade Runner universe.
Directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
That makes so much sense, actually.
The director of Alien vs. Predator and the Resident Evil film.
You just put into words why I don't like this movie. I did not know. Yeah. I did not realize Paul W.S. Anderson directed it. You know what it is? It's because he's credited as Paul Anderson. And I was like, it's like a third Paul Anderson director I didn't know about.
Paul Thomas Anderson directed.
What a departure.
Licorice Pizza. But yeah, no. It's just like a really generic thing. The action is terrible.
Yeah.
The production design is boring.
Yeah.
I do think Kurt Russell's weird performance is worth watching, though.
It is weird. He's trained to be a soldier. He knows nothing else. So when it comes to just regular social interaction with normal Michael Chiklises and whatnot, he just can't do it. Like he doesn't talk, and if he is like forced to talk, he'll call anyone sir. He'll send every super distracting and weird. But most of the time he's just got these like sad blue eyes that he's looking at everyone with, and sometimes they'll like tear up a little bit. But most of the time he's just he has like maybe like 10 lines in the whole movie. Yeah. He just doesn't talk. It's an interesting challenge having a silent protagonist in your hard sci-fi movie. It did not pay off.
Yeah. What's it called? Yeah, Soldier, definitely. But somehow this movie is not on Tubi. It's not on any streaming service.
It's okay.
You gotta rent it.
Don't watch it. It sucks.
Yeah, don't check it out.
It's a waste of time. Watch Mad Max or something.
Watch Mad Max. Watch Starship. Actually, watch Starship Troopers.
Yeah, watch Starship Troopers.
That gives you everything you would want out of a movie like this. Yeah, no. Do we have any props from Soldier? I'm getting really tired, so we're gonna.
When he gets exiled, for 5 seconds in that one scene before.
Oh yeah, for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and he cries about it, and then the guy comes down. And he's like, "I didn't realize you were trying to kill the snake," and you're like, "What did you think he was fucking doing?" He's wearing like a cool coat that I like. Yeah. I think his long trench coat, which I'm convinced is only there because Blade Runner.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think it's
I
a
like
cool
his
coat.
scarf. I want the scarf that Michael Chiklis gave him.
That's a cool scarf.
And then he gets scared by it.
Yeah. Moron.
Yeah, but no. Soldier, definitely don't check it out.
It's part of the universe in the most obnoxious way possible.
Yeah, in such a nothing.
It has
way.
nothing to do with replicants, except if you use your imagination.
Yeah. Yeah, folks. Definitely check out Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
If somehow you skipped around to this part, and I definitely encourage you to watch the movies before we talk about them. That way you can get all the insights and do your own comparison, form your own thoughts. I really encourage that. It's currently 10:30 p.m. No Movie Gang. My dog just sneezed.
Rest in peace.
Yep. Meadow. Yeah, that's gonna cover it. Next time, what is it? The Boggy Creek episode will come out after this one.
Boggy.
And then I do not have the mental energy to plan for Planet of the Apes right now, and what that's gonna look like. But I will message you, Joseph, about Planet of the Apes. Folks at home, thank you so much again. Have a nice night. Keep liking, subscribing, all this. We're getting a lot of attention on our Predator Badlands review.
Oh yeah,
it's getting a lot of engagement.
Do people hate us for it or
comments? No, people agree with us about everything. People's like, yeah, it's fun.
It is fun
because ultimately
there's not much you can like. There's not a lot of discussion you can have about that movie. I don't think.
Yeah, but yeah, folks at home, thank you so much again. 10:31 p.m. Night Movie Gang, SLC. Bye.
Bye.
So, here we go. With childish frustrations and complexes which the police are searching for James Thomas, believed to be the lover of Miss Williams, and her partner in the horrible murder of Walter. Where's everybody that I'm here to go? Oh, please tell me where they've gone. Please tell me. Sorry, I don't know. How long is it? How long could I got in here? 3 tickets to Albany on 6 o'clock train tonight. What do you think? Special agent, special agent.